Hello, what have we here?
You're wrong.
Damn! What the hell was that?
Game over, man. Game over.
You're wrong.
You finished?
Well, I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
Greetings, boys and girls, lemurs and squirrels, and welcome to the Week in Geek for May the 13th in this foul year of our Lord 2026, a wholly owned subsidiary of Free Range Idiocy, wherein we present our midweek dose of geekery for you,
The people.
Sit back and relax as we scrape the best news we found off the bottom of the interweb shoe and let you know exactly how we feel about it. I am your Uncle Todd, and with me, as always, is the lead editor-in-chief, chief bottle watcher of Bottle Washer of the Week in Geek. I give you the man they call Tim.
Greetings and salutations, my friend. We got to tack a couple other nicknames to the end of this. The multi-time world heavyweight champion of fantasy football. That's right, we have weight classes now. As well as the guru, if you will, of men's college basketball, the man they call Tim. How are you, my friend? What's going on?
I am not nearly intoxicated enough for this stuff right now.
No?
Otherwise, I'm doing pretty well for the shape that I'm in. I am going to, speaking of which, you are driving me to drink, but I'm gonna do a little cork pop here.
That's okay. I'm going to pose for a minute with my gold. There it is, baby.
Ooh. Oh, that was a
You know, Uncle Todd literally and figuratively is getting the vapors.
I think I'm going to enjoy this.
Oh, I think you are.
Oh, that's a lovely nose on that. My gosh.
Now I'm really regretting not grabbing myself a bourbon glass,
it's right
a
there.
tasting glass before starting all of this.
But I'm doing all right for the shape that I'm in. How are you doing, sir? That's the question.
Hey,
how are you?
I am here. I am loving life, and hard times, baby, hard times.
All right. Well, this is your show to program. We are going to be. I will say, however, for people who are expecting a whole bunch of entertainment tidbits, this is going to be a little bit different. Week in Geek. This is basically a week in wrestling because we are going to utilize this Wednesday, Week in Geek Wednesday, for a Backlash recap adjudication of the event that just happened on Saturday. So we're a little more timely than we normally are. So
Yes.
look at us trying to. I don't know.
Let's call this what it is. Uncle Todd did not like the idea of 2 consecutive wrestling episodes for our Friday No, I'm kidding. I'm
Episodes?
Episodes.
Okay.
Episodes.
I thought you were doing more of a Sean Connery episodes.
Well, that probably would have sounded better, huh?
One ping for Sheila. One ping only, please. All right, but so I do notice you have a couple of items.
Burning books. So many. That's something we got to do. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, man.
Come on, Sean Connery. An uneven resume, if you will, but damn, he just chewed scenery, and just with talking, it was great.
That was one of his finest films that he made was with Harrison Ford.
You know, late career Sean Connery. There are definitely some things to appreciate, like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and The Rock.
Yes.
To me are like,
welcome to The Rock.
I mean, just so great. And low key, a nice, like almost a nice epilogue to his James Bond career. Because that is like one of the big fan theories about that movie is essentially like that is Sean Connery as James Bond.
Yep.
You know, and I'm like, you know what? I'm buying it because if you have Sean Connery with Nick Cage just going batshit insane in San Francisco, I'm in. Like that is a great way to finish off Sean Connery as a James Bond. Like chef's kiss, no notes.
Indeed.
Anyways, you were going to take us on through the tour of what we're doing here. I just don't.
So I just had a couple of entertainment tidbits before we get into the main event, if you will, which is the adjudication of our Backlash picks after having witnessed the event on Saturday evening, May the 9th. And one such item is, you know, we're known to entertain Star Wars and Marvel trailers, amongst others. and decided to do something a little bit different. We had a trailer that came out this past week for a little story called The Odyssey that is coming out.
Yes.
And it looks very interesting. So I thought we would watch that, and then I have one other very short article to see if we can test Uncle Todd's Star Wars knowledge here or not. But
Okay.
here we go. All right, so let's pull up the Odyssey trailer to start with. This is, let's see, when is
the
this
link
coming
is in
out?
the notes, by the way, for those uninitiated.
This is coming. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, for the uninitiated, the link for this is in the show notes.
Yes.
Or the description, depending on.
And this movie will be in theaters July the 17th. So here we go. Are you ready?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Do you have it
I
pulled
do,
up
yes.
and queued up?
Yep,
All right.
I do.
3, 2, 1, here we go.
Oh, it's good. It's appropriate for all audiences. That's nice to know.
That's important, especially if a Cyclops in it.
Let's see. What do we got? I have avoided pretty much any kind of knowledge
What is this,
of this.
Inception? Ancient Inception? Oh, Crying Wife.
Oh, Goodwill Odysseus. That's right. I forgot Damon's in this.
Spider-Man, what's he doing? Is he going to be web-slinging around the ancient world?
Maybe.
Quite possibly. We won the war with our bristleheads. It could happen.
I mean, visually, Chris Nolan, it's going to look friggin' fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But this
Ooh,
is
Robert Pattinson.
This is yet another, like, Matt Damon needs to find his way home sort of movie. Like, didn't we get enough of these?
Anne Hathaway. Man, this is a who's who right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is
cast
a
and a half.
murderer's row of talent we have going on here.
I'm sure I'm, like, missing, like, a ton of people here, but...
Oh, Pattinson's the heel, baby. He's healing it. He's healing it up.
Good.
Oh, you know what's going to happen?
What?
When Matt Damon gets home, he's going to pop the old Obafemi strut walking in, baby.
That would be great, actually. That would be great.
Oh, yes. Oh, he's
You're
taking
big.
on a couple giants right there. So, hey, why not?
I mean, again, it looks fantastic, but there's more than a little, like, gladiator vibe when they get to some of these dark scenes, you know? Who's playing? Oh, puppy.
Gotta love the puppy.
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
they're storming the beaches. No one but Oba. I think
You know
the
what? It'd
ruler
be
might
great
have
if-
something to say about that.
It'd be great if Ben Affleck was playing the Cyclops.
That would.
And heretofore,
You suspect.
maybe Casey Affleck in a bit part. Like, that'd be just
It
a whole
could.
Goodwill Hunting crew back together, you know?
Hey, they've been known to grant
out a-
roles to one another in different ways. So yes.
I still say my favorite post Goodwill Hunting Ben Affleck Matt Damon team up is Dogma.
Yes.
Kevin Smith's Dogma.
Ah.
Absolutely fantastic. Just
Okay.
so good.
Very nice.
Anyways, but no, that looks good. I mean, it seems like it'd be worth a few bucks just to go see it on a big screen. You know,
I think so. Yeah,
maybe. You know, we'll see. We'll see if
it's
the
not
faith will line.
often. It's not often that there is, that there's a picture of that quality that comes to the theaters, because I think that's part of the problem. Is just not that it's, one of the complaints is the lack of creativity because of all the reboots and restarts and all of this and that and the other.
Yeah, it's been going on for a long time though.
Yeah, and so we really haven't seen a. I mean, I think the Odyssey may have been done before, but we haven't really seen it done up in this way by someone of the stature of Nolan.
True.
And with that sort of cast, and so I think it'll be very interesting. I think.
Yeah. I mean, no one knows how to make a big flick. So I mean, this will, if like I said, if nothing else, it'll look friggin' fantastic.
Yes, it will. It
you
will.
know. So we'll see. Kaylin has some problems with this movie just from a mythology standpoint, as far as an authenticity of some of the costuming choices and things like that. I'm sure she could dive into that for an hour, but I think she'll still go see it. I'll probably go see it. So we'll have a report back afterwards, perhaps.
Might have to do an episode if we can squeeze it in by like September, because we got 3 weeks of Ted Lasso coming up, baby. So
yeah.
I got to get going on that, boy. Let me tell you, got a lot of you to go. As one Jacob said to say, Yaramin.
That guy, man.
Oh, we'll get to him in a moment. Let me tell you. But today, I came across in our good friends Yahoo Entertainment. No, not my time shine. My time to shine. Hello, had nothing to do with them. But sir, do you know the actor Michael Pennington?
I do not, but I must confess, I did see this news item, and
okay.
I forget which.
Do you remember his role?
I don't remember his exact role. I do remember what was.
Let me do a quick little thing for you.
Yes, please.
The Emperor, he's coming here. We'll double our efforts. Yeah. Return of the Jedi, ladies and gentlemen. And that, I don't know why, but that line has always stuck in my head because of the way that the guy just talked in such a very crisp and very memorable way. And he was the kind of one of the sniveling Imperial, commanders
He was the commander of the second Death Star, right?
He was, yes.
Okay.
He was.
Which is a very dubious distinction when you think about it.
Yeah, is that really a job you want? Because if it goes south, I don't think they're giving you severance on that one. Well, they'll sever you, but
yeah,
you'll get severed. Lord Vader's pretty good at that, so
it might be more compacted, if you will.
If you will, show him the vacuum. But yes, one Michael Pennington, who apparently quite a stage actor. In this article, a towering figure in British theater. He devoted decades of his life to Shakespeare. He joined the Royal Shakespeare Company in 1964. I wonder if he crossed paths with Patrick Stewart, because Patrick Stewart was a big, had an outsized period of time on with the Royal Shakespeare Company as well, kind of during that period.
I would think so. I mean, it would be tough not to, right?
Yeah. So he spent a lot of time, in that area, and then he would eventually be in several movies. Let's see, he would eventually share the screen with Oscar-winning actress years later in The Iron Lady. His screen career was extensive and varied. He appeared in a host of British TV dramas and films, as well as internationally recognized series, including, I thought this was The Walking Dead. I'm like, I don't remember him being on The Walking Dead, but it's called Waking the Dead. And The Tudors, which I've always read very positive things about The Tudors. I heard that was a very, very well done show. In later years, he lent his voice to Ridley Scott's sci-fi series Raised by Wolves, marking his final role in 2022. So apparently he was also an accomplished writer, authored several books, explored the craft of performance and the intricacies of the entertainment industry. So
a true Renaissance man.
He was. So as I wrote in our show notes, one Michael Pennington, we will double our efforts in your absence. So salute to the great Michael Pennington, and sorry you failed that job interview, or at least that role, because you done got blown up with everyone else. So
I gotta tell you, dude, this is delightful. Oh my gosh!
Tell us, sir, what is the bourbon you're drinking? What is the name of it? What are you holding in your hand there?
I got to admit, I bought it on the name. Because I wanted this bottle somewhere.
I bought the Screaming Titan behind me. I thought that was a phenomenal name.
And this is a fantastic bottle, because look, I mean, you got like the chicken wire detail, and you can feel that, and a nice nice label and a goofy ass name. But apparently, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, one of the oldest bourbon brands in the United States. Chicken Cock was established in 1856 in Paris, Bourbon County, Kentucky. 7 decades later, it was a staple of Prohibition-era speakeasies, including the world-famous Cotton Club. Known as, quote, the famous old brand, end quote, Chicken Cock died off after World War II, but now has returned to its rightful place in the pantheon of great American heritage whiskeys.
Very nice.
And man, I gotta say, this is quite lovely. I mean, it's a 90 proof, but it actually it drinks like a higher proof. Like there is a nice rounded flavor. I'm getting a lot
buzzed.
Well, no, I mean I might if I keep drinking it this quickly because it's delicious. But I mean, I'm getting kind of a lot of lighter, kind of fruity flavors, along with some nice, caramel woody sort of tones. So I mean, there's a lot going on there for 90
I'm
proof.
shocked you're getting woody tones from drinking, chicken cock.
I totally set myself up for that one. Well,
it's weird for me to be playing this role. I just want to say this is normally you.
How's it feel?
Hey, one more time. Yeah, I mean.
Feel like you need a shower, don't you? You're not used to it.
I was born into the film.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that's like Mario Bane. Oh my god.
Dang it.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. Well, I'm happy for you, sir. I'm glad you found a nice bottle of bourbon to enjoy with its woody tones. Uncle Todd strongly backs the cock, apparently.
I didn't think you had the guts to say that. Good on you, sir. Good on you for stepping outside your comfort zone.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's good. All right.
My son needed that after like a work meeting that went way longer than it needed to.
This is just not one drop of alcohol. The man that called Tim is just his inhibitions have been lowered by just being ground down to a nub from work, and he's just like, I don't freaking care anymore. Just
my gosh.
This is like all of the things you wanted to say during your work meeting coming out just in a different way.
It is. It is. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I ran upstairs to grab a little bourbon tasting glass so I could?
You don't keep the glasses right down there?
No, they're up in the kitchen.
Dude, you got to keep those down there. Close.
I used to.
We'll take a timeout. Go right ahead, sir.
I'll be right back. All right.
A few inches later.
All right, where were we, sir? We were getting into the meat of the show. Now you have your glass, and now what are you going to be drinking? Since
Woodford Reserve. I held up the bottle.
Well, they didn't. I'm doing edits here, sir. There you go. Just good old Woodford. All right,
old reliable.
All right, so here we are. We are reviewing WWE Backlash, which took place on Saturday, May 9th. Coming to us from Tampa, Florida.
The Benchmark International Arena. Can't think of a more exciting name than that.
Yeah, that's kind of lame. But then again, most arena names now suck. I got to say, right off the bat, pretty good opening montage / hype video for this. Felt like, it felt a little old school. Because that has been one of the complaints of the internet wrestling community over the past couple of years. Is I've kept up a little bit more on what the trolls online have been saying. There, it's not as good as good as the Attitude Era, and blah, blah, blah. It's like this was actually a pretty good hype video. Like this actually got me a little bit excited for an event that, if you've listened to our previous episode, I was not excited for whatsoever. This actually ginned a little excitement in me. It was kind of interesting. And then we cut to the interior, and it's the same Raw SmackDown set, which is where I will say this is one of those things that I am going to take exception to and kind of side with the internet dweebs. I would like to see WWE put a little more effort into some of their staging for PLEs. I understand not going completely over the top like you used to, because it's not the same revenue stream. It's not the same thing. But the fact is, you're doing less house shows.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing, and like the fact is this was their PLE setup. You could tell this was a different setup because when they showed the wide shot of the ring, there was a huge extra amount of room over by the announce table where they would normally have another announce table. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of extra space to, which, the wrestlers explored. Why can't you do something vaguely different? Like even just putting like some type of dressing. You don't have to change the LED wall and all that. I get it.
Yeah.
Like that is kind of the thing. Like that is the basis of what you're doing. But like adding some sort of stage set would be a kind of a cool idea, especially when you factor in the fact that like this was not their big time arena PLE setup where they don't have the star curtain behind and they actually sell the entire arena behind that so that like you don't have that. Like do something a little special. Make this look like it's more than just like a Raw knockoff show. Like it's not like, I mean, you cut all those wrestlers, you've got budget now because you saved a couple hundred, $1,000.
Well, they got to pay Nick Khan's salary. That's what they made the cuts for.
And as usual, corporate America, just yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a bummer. I mean, did you? I mean, I saw you kind of nod along there. Do you kind of feel the same way? Does it not feel like special for PLEs now, aside from like Mania and the Big Four?
If I may speak from a opposite perspective, not that I feel this way fully, but just hear me out.
Okay.
As an engineer, I can understand it because what they're trying to do, of course, is reuse what they have for, like you said, Raw, SmackDown, those shows, and have the video screens be the tone and the ambiance setting aspects of things versus what they used to do in like the 90s and 2000s where they literally had different sets at every event.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it's not a bad thing to try to do, but there's something that I can appreciate from it. Like it didn't hit me as, I guess, hard as it hit you, from that perspective. I just kind of accept it. And I'm like, okay, here we are. Like, I think one thing I get kind of, I don't know, absorbed into, or at least I tend to enjoy with these PLEs, especially these like, off, I don't want to call them off brand, but off like milestone PLEs, like the non WrestleMania, the non SummerSlam PLEs, is they still find a way to make them feel like in the last few years, they found a way to give them a sports feel to them. And I like that. And I don't know why. I mean, that probably is like, well, what does that make a difference when it comes to the setup of the arena? I think it just kind of sets the tone for me of, okay, I'm here. I'm looking forward to the matches, and yes, they've done a nice job with the arena, but it's fine. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't bother me as much, but I agree with you because the setup at the United Center, right, where we went for Elimination Chamber, outside of the Elimination Chamber not being there, I mean, all in all was pretty much a similar setup, right? It was a center aisle with people on either side. And, the only thing that really differs is the amount of space. Sometimes the aisle is wider, sometimes it's more narrow.
Well, I think for non Saturday night's main event, like they're pretty standard. Like I think the aisle width is pretty standard because they do have a ramp, even though it is a very, very gradual ramp because the floor of the stage is up from the floor of the arena where they go down. Like, so I mean, it's a very small slope, but I have noticed like there is a ramp there. So I think the aisle is fairly standardized.
Okay.
I think the big difference is, again, whether they have it set up so that obviously not the 100 level, but like 200, 300 level is sold behind the stage.
Okay.
And if I remember right, at United Center, it was like I don't think they had the star curtain. So it's not like a third of the arena or a quarter of the arena is shut off. Like they sold all the tickets.
Yep.
And I would contend like when you're doing that, okay, fine, I get it. And especially when you're doing something like Elimination Chamber, like the chamber is the centerpiece. That is the set dressing. Like that is the thing. When it's something like this, like and I understand what you're saying, but from the same standpoint, like, okay, from an engineering standpoint, yes, consistency. And that's why, I make peace with the fact that the LED wall is the LED wall is the LED wall. That's what you're going to do. That's just standard setup.
Sure.
That's going to be the major vibe for the event.
It's cost effective.
It is. However,
pay Tony Khan's salary, or Nick Khan's salary, man.
At the same time, because it is consistent, because you're running fewer house shows, because you have obviously a buttload of money. We've heard over the past few years, WWE is making money hand over fist, and I know that TKO wants to get their money back. That almost makes it more inexcusable that you're not putting in a little extra effort for these.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if I were ESPN, I would be kind of like, okay, you need to make these kind of special, like, because this looks like essentially your Monday and Friday night show just on our app. Like, we need you to put in a little more effort. Like, it's nice that you're seeming to put in a little more effort into the matches than you have maybe in a couple of them. But we need you to spiff it up a little, like spend another $10,000, $20,000. Pretty sure off of the $1 billion that we gave you for the rights for your thing, you can afford it. You know what I mean?
I mean, if they introduce like a dog leg aisle, let's say, right? Like they have them come in from the corner as opposed to the center. Would that be enough of a difference for you?
No, I'm fine with the center aisle. I'm fine with I'm fine with all that. Just do something a little bit different. Like, there's creative things that you can do. Like for WrestleMania, they did the two towers and all that. Like, there with LEDs now and the way that you can engineer things, you can. And again, like, this is a creative endeavor. They're not making fracking breakfast cereal and just going for, like, every frosted flake needs to be the same. Like, no, you're in the creativity business. If the excuse is, well, I mean, you mean we have to come up with an idea every month? Yes, it's what you fracking do. I'm not saying this because it's the most passionate thing in my life. I'm just saying, like, if that's the excuse, that's a really bad excuse. Like, you do creative. If you're like, well, we're already busy doing this, hire someone else. Again, ESPN paid you this many billion. Netflix paid you this many billion. You cut wrestlers, you do this, you've cut budget, you've done that. Like, you can't tell me you don't have salary to pay a few more people, like, who are going to be getting like pennies compared to what your Nick Khan is making. You can't hire a couple more underlings to like brainstorm what the set looks like. Like, come on. It would be lame. And the thing is, it looks cheap. And at this point, like, where you're already charging people premiums, like, again, tickets are friggin' outrageous anyways. You better be giving folks bang for the buck, man. Like, I'm just saying. And again, I don't want to live or die on the hill. I didn't mean to even talk about it this long, but it was kind of the first impression of like, oh, okay, so this is it? All right. And it kind of like knocked my expectations down because the hype package had me like, ooh, maybe this is better. And then they saw that, and I'm like, and
I got to ask this question. What are you showing up to watch? Are you showing up to watch the environs, or are you showing up to watch the superstars that are going to fight within those environs? And I think that is,
as Shannon Sharp said, both. BOF.
I don't know that I'm in that camp. I appreciate your opinion on this, sir, but first of all, I think it's the chicken cock, because I can't believe we spent 15 minutes on how the freaking arena looks. Well, no, this is where we've gone, folks. So
if you're paying X dollars for the ESPN app, if you're paying that much money to go to the show, it's not just about the entertainment anymore. It is 80% the entertainment, but I also want to enjoy the environment. So it's like, oh, well, it would be like if you go there and they're like, oh, by the way, for your $750 100 level seat, yeah, we're going to have all the superstars and all this and the fireworks and all that, but you got to sit on a milk crate. Sorry. Well, gee, the entertainment is there. Yeah, but I want a decent seat. Like, there are other aspects of this that play in, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay. I didn't know you're going to be so sensitive about the way it looked, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, then of course we have Michael Cole and Wade Barrett on the call, and we jump right into. I didn't really think this was going to be the first one out the chute, but we have Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker.
Yes.
and a very interesting look for Seth, with a nice little black strappy number going on, and the
Good
mask.
God, you start with how the arena looks, and now you're doing like fashion takes on stuff. Who am I talking to here?
Because Seth Rollins is like on this weird track where apparently, he wore a literal smoking jacket, not velour, and like a nice, like a jacket that was literally smoking. Like it's always something with this chucklehead. But anyways, it's very interesting here. I thought that, of course, we bring out Seth, and I noted down here, like, the crowds know when to sing along, but they have no idea what to do when they're not instructed. Like, as soon as the intro was kind of done, it was silence, and there was silence before the match even started, before they started the intros and everything. It's like, this is where crowds are at now, where it's like, oh, if there's not something and telling me exactly what to do, I don't know what to do. Like, we don't cheer, we don't boo, we don't, until we are kind of given an indication of what we should do. Kind of lame. Yeah. Where is it? What I have here? Oh yes, the Braun Breaker. This is something that, again, like, it's a little thing. I think this needs to stop, and I wonder how you feel about this.
Okay.
Everyone needs to stop with the whole standing up in the smoke entrance. And Braun Breaker did this, where he tried to stand up through the smoke, and they never catch it right. They never catch it the right angle. The guy, like, here we saw from a distance, like, we saw Braun obviously, like, crouch down and then standing up in the middle of the smoke, and then Heyman waddles out behind him. It never looks good. And Stephanie Vaquer has done it. A bunch of other people have tried to do it. They just need to stop. Like, either that or raise up the stage so you can properly elevate people into position, because it looks dumb. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, you haven't nailed this in the past year or so. You've got to give up on it. And either that, or you need to figure out, like, time this down and shoot it right, because otherwise it looks stupid. It makes some, especially when you're dealing with someone like Braun Breaker, who's supposed to be a killer, and he looks like a friggin' snap ahead standing up out of the smoke going, hey! And you're like, I
think you're being a little over. I mean, come on. I get it. Yes, it looked like he was rising up.
Yep,
okay,
he
fine.
should just walked out. That's what you should
I don't think
do.
he looked like a snapper head. I think between the music
He did.
and the lights and the smoke and the pie, I thought it was what it needed to be.
Okay.
I will say this to you. When they were in San Diego last year, and they had the dog leg entrance because they were in the ball field.
Yes.
I will say that's where they got his entrance right, because they had the inner hallway lit up with this, like, blue light with the smoke, and watching him walk out, that had a really, solid feel to it. And and to me, that's what they should do every time with him, is that. But for one reason or another, they don't. It seemed like that place, similar to the United Center, probably had the gorilla position right there behind, the entrance door. So there's only so much they can film there. But, what are you going to do? So
not have him stand up in the smoke.
Fine, no standing up in smoke, for crying out loud. God.
I thought this match was pretty good. The one thing I did like is it seemed like, I'm a big fan of when somebody subverts the obvious move from the other guy, like, and showing, like, there is some homework has been done. Like I haven't noted down here, Seth leapfrogging to avoid the early spear. I thought that was such a nice touch. And honestly, it's the, like, as annoying as I find Seth Rollins' voice and some of his antics, I actually have enjoyed a little bit more of his promo work this time around, because it seems like it's a little more serious and not like a sentient bottle of Mountain Dew Code Red sprung to life. But his in-ring stuff, the dude is he is this generation's Shawn Michaels. Like, he is just that good in the ring. And so watching him work in this match was great. I thought him and Braun actually had a lot of great chemistry. And then even Braun, like, Braun's suplexes, holy crap, like $1 million. Like, snap suplex, the German suplex, anything this dude does. And it's easy to draw the comparison between him and Lesnar. because it literally is. It's like Suplex City Part 2 with this guy. He looks friggin' fantastic. The one thing I will pick a nit here, and this is another one of those hills that I will die on. Michael Cole.
God, line them up.
Michael
the
Cole
arena, the
saying,
fashion.
admire the official for letting them be outside the ring and letting some stuff go. I'm like, no, it's just another excuse of letting these guys wander around for 3 to 5 minutes without a count out. Especially egregious by the fact that later in the match, there was a risk of a count out. Like, not even consistent in the same match. Here is how WWE, 3 things they need to fix immediately. First and foremost, if you're going to do countouts, do countouts. Period. And everybody's got to do it. Roll in and out of the ring, do something. Like this whole crap of it, because otherwise it's just a no DQ match. It's a no, like, whatever. It makes all those other stipulations seem stupid because you can get away with everything in every match now. 2, start actually enforcing DQs. You cannot start using the stairs. You can't put someone through the announce table. You can't do this. You can't do that in full view of the ref. Just because it's outside the ring and the ref has suddenly no power. Meanwhile, the ref can eject somebody or can, whatever. Like, you need to have a consistent rule. Like, this doesn't need to be consistent with a real fight or the real world, but this is the world that you have structured. And it looks like this and you tell it's like this, but then you break every rule for seemingly no good reason. Third thing, and I've noticed this way too much, it's not necessarily this one, wrestlers have to get both shoulders on the friggin' mat. Like, so many times I'm watching people count, they're making the count, and I'm like, the shoulder's obviously up. And again, like, I know it's the finish of the match, I know it's blah, 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 or whatever, but it's like, seriously, like, I can see 1.5 inches of air between this yoink's friggin' shoulder and the mat. Come on, man. The pin has got to be the pin. And you know what? You can't tell me, oh, it's just too difficult. I'm sorry. The guy's back like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Go talk to Jim Cornette. Managed to do it. Are you telling me with all the friggin' sports, medicine we have and pliability and flexibility and yoga and whatnot, you can't actually get both your shoulders on the friggin' ground? You can't lay flat? Fix those 3 things, and all of a sudden now the product will actually look a little better. But anyways, that was really annoying to me when Michael Cole was like, I have to admire. I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't, Michael. As a matter of fact, I refuse to. Piss on you.
That's what Mr. Agent of Chaos wants to hear. So, yeah.
Anyways, why don't you actually one more thing, and then I want to get your
just one more. You sure?
Yes, I think it was a nice call out on the Vision Shield parallels in talking about Seth and all of that, and kind of the back and forth with Wade Barrett playing the devil's advocate about how Seth had to, or Braun had to like do this to Seth because he knew that Seth would eventually turn on him and all that stuff. I thought that was interesting, but I've talked for long enough. What did you think about this match, sir? What are some of the points that you want to bring up?
So when it comes to Rollins' intro, I found his choice of, kind of outfit coming down interesting because it very much had a Shield vibe to it. He used to wear a mask when they were first introduced as the Shield, and if you looked at his jacket, it looks very, very similar to what he used to wear in terms of that, kind of
tactical,
vest. It wasn't the vest, but it had a very similar look to it.
It was more like those tactical straps than actual other material. Like, it was entirely made out of straps. It was kind of impressive in an engineering standpoint.
And then for Breaker, I liked how he kind of came down in his dad's jacket in a lot of ways. That leather jacket with spikes is what Rick Steiner used to come down to.
Though. Didn't he have
that?
Didn't he have like the Mac dog hood ornaments on the shoulders at one point?
I think so.
The end?
Possibly. I don't remember exactly, but you could be right. But as far as the match, like the start of the match was a hot start. I mean, this whole card, maybe outside of the Danhausen match, but this whole card was basically young versus old. And this was the first of these matches. You had the, young upstart in Braun Breaker. Basically, Seth starts going to town on him right away. I thought the intensity of the fighting was well done. There was a couple points where, especially when Breakker started to take control, where I felt like it felt like it was almost like a shoot in some ways. Like there was one point where Rollins tried to get a kick in or something, and Breakker just came back and just started like pounding on him, and there was an intensity to it that was like, shoot, like did Seth piss him off? Was he a little snug on that last maneuver or something? I mean, good Lord.
Are we witnessing a receipt in real time?
No kidding.
This is like a CVS receipt. It just keeps going and freaking going.
Oh my gosh. What other notes? Early on, nasty suplex over the top by Braun on Seth.
Oh yeah.
That was incredible. I thought Seth was going to get injured from that one. What else? Nasty tilt-a-whirl by Braun. I mean, a lot of this match was, Seth took, he tried to take control early, and then, Braun really controlled a lot of the match until some of the extracurriculars happened toward the end, and then, we went essentially to the end. And I'm trying to see. Oh, one thing I wanted to call out: Braun almost spikes himself with that Frankensteiner. So he does that thing where he's kind of like, hey, and then he goes to do the Frankensteiner. Yes. This time, because supposedly, actually, I'm sorry, he wasn't doing a Frankensteiner. He took a Doomsday device at Survivor Series and got, joinked on his head.
Yeah.
But this time, like, he literally almost spiked himself because of the way he did that Frankensteiner. And it's like, dude, you've got to like,
So I actually
get some control on that.
I have that noted down, and the thing is, like, when he does a Frankensteiner, it looks impressive and yet unimpressive at the same time. Like the speed at which he moves up the ropes and the snap at which he does it is always impressive. But the fact, like, you can obviously tell the other person is taking the bump because he's already off of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like this is where Braun's speed works against him, because no one can move to take the move with him at the speed that he is moving.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he can slow down. Like, I don't know if that's a thing that he can actually do. So it's like the person who's trying to take the bump is always going to be moving slower than him because he's just too friggin' fast for his own good.
Yeah.
Which leads to him almost like, pile driving himself into the friggin' mat. Little things. I mean, maybe just don't do that anymore, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else? So like I said, the story of this match was Braun, kind of controlling it for much of it, almost kind of mocking Seth when he would try to make a comeback and stuff.
Did you notice there was one point where there was a pin attempt and then Seth slapped him? Like just an open hand slap as
I think I do. Yeah.
And slaps him, and I was like, that is such a nice touch. Like, that is such a veteran thing. And then Braun leans over and kind of eggs him on. He slaps him again, and it's supposed to be that whole thing where it's like Seth can't even get up. Like, that's literally all he can do is just smack him in the face. And it's this weird sort of vibe where I'm like, that works so well in this situation. And that's like one of those things where it's like, that's such a nice touch, to kind of increase, without amping up the violence, it just kind of increases the tension in a weird way. I like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's see what else. There was a botched move in the middle of the match where Seth kind of caught himself before landing on his head. It was kind of he was trying to transition into another move. I think he was running and he went to like leapfrog over him or like hook him into a move, and it
almost like he was going to try and hook him into the Black Widow or something. Like he was trying to get
something
on
like that.
back. Yeah, it was weird.
It was kind of weird. What else? Let's see. Braun.
Go ahead.
So sorry, Braun with a nasty military press into knees to the gut. I had like he pressed him up and then he fell, dropped him on his knees. That was nasty. He was just doing a lot of damage to it seemed like to Seth. Buckle bomb by Seth into a vicious clothesline by Breakker was interesting.
I did not like Braun no selling that.
Really?
I did not like it. Maybe earlier in the match. You do that early in the match and Braun no sells it. Okay, fine. But this is like 3/4 of the way into the match. Like, and it started this trend in this match of heading into the like AEW territory where nobody is selling anything. And it's just now it's move to the point where there was a point where friggin' like Braun countering the superplex into his own Falcon Arrow, where I'm like,
I thought that was kind of cool.
It was, but at the same time, like you think about it, like you just took a superplex, which is supposed to be a big move. It's not like a killer move like it used to be back in the 80s or whatever, but it's like that's still a substantial move that you're supposed to sell. And he immediately rolls up and like counters into a Falcon Arrow, like
but in both cases,
but not that long after he just no sold the buckle bomb. You know, it's
but
like
in both cases of the buckle bomb and the Falcon Arrow, when he does that move to counter it, he's down for a period of time. It's not like he gets up and keeps working on Seth. He throws the clothesline and then is down as with Seth on the mat. Like he's just recovering at that point. Same when he did the Falcon Arrow. He does the Falcon Arrow, but I don't think he capitalized for a pin, or did he try a pin? He might have.
He did, because I remember that
Oh yeah, I have it written here. Braun does the Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Yeah. So he did have the wherewithal to pin. I agree with you. Probably shouldn't have gone for a pin. It probably should have sold the superplex, but I give a little leeway for that because it one, it's different, but two, it also kind of plays into the story, which is Braun is the younger, more, resilient now, athlete compared to Seth, who is, he's getting up there in years now.
Well, but then right after this, the next note I have is, since when does Seth hulk up? Because I mean, there was that point where Braun hit him with something, and Seth is literally doing the Hulk Hogan, like shaking it off. I'm like, when is this part of your repertoire? Like I've watched, I can't say that I've watched Seth's entire career, but I've seen
Babyface Seth, baby. It's Babyface Seth.
I've watched a bunch of his matches, and when has this come up? All of a sudden now he's channeling, like, did they have a seance backstage and Terry Bollea was possessing the man?
Hey,
let me tell you something, brother.
Let's see. One thing I want to call out, I don't know if it was just the crowd or if this was just how the crowd was locked into the match, but I have a note here. This match has been much better than I thought, and no title is on the line. And what I mean by that is the reactions to the near falls.
Yes.
Like there was there's nothing on the line here.
Mm-hmm.
And yet the way the crowd was reacting in some of those near falls was like, it was a world heavyweight title match. It was really incredible how locked in the crowd was to the story that was being told. You and I were live at Elimination Chamber at the United Center in Chicago. And even being at a distance, and watching the matches and stuff like that. I mean, Punk versus Balor was not a, chewing my nails sort of on the edge of my seat sort of match, but at the same time, like, we were into it, and this match was able to get everyone kind of invested and locked in. And I think it all comes down to, like, one thought, I didn't make a note of this, but one thought that came to mind during this match. And it's another point of, I think Rollins and Punk are putting on a show for us in terms of how much they hate each other. I'm watching this play out and I'm like, this is very much out of the Punk playbook here. Rollins starts out hot, starts getting beaten on, rallies to make a comeback, gets beaten on some more. I mean, I'm not saying it's a carbon copy or anything like that, because like I said, the intensity of the fight felt very real at moments, and it had that, Braun was kind of doing that whole shtick of, kind of throwing verbal barbs at him while he was, laying punishment on him. But it just felt like Rollins was kind of in that Punk role of just bringing a great match out of this young guy and pacing it out in a way that engaged the crowd, because that's a hallmark of Punk's matches. Like the match has like 5 or 6 gears to it. And we saw that in the Roman Reigns main event. And I kind of felt like it was playing out here with Rollins and Breakker. Like this match continued to get more intense and more exciting. And just as it progressed, it kind of worked up to a crescendo, and it just played out really, really well. And when Breakker, Rollins is trying to pull from every tool that he's got, the pedigree, the spear into a pedigree. He goes for the avalanche stomp, but couldn't pull it off because he gets cut off by the spear. And then finally, it's just in some ways, it reminded me a little bit of that Punk match, because it was kind of like Seth fought a valiant fight, but just couldn't hang in there with the young guy, and that was a compelling story. And as we talked about, and we both selected as the winner, Breakker winning was the right thing to do. Like Breakker had more to lose by losing this match. Like Seth Rollins doesn't, in my mind, he doesn't lose anything by losing to Breakker. If anything, it sends his character in a very interesting direction, because a year displaced from where he was last year, no one trusts him. No one likes him. He's burned so many bridges. He's not winning matches on his own. It's like he's just kind of this like lost soul at this point. And Breakker is on the rise, thwarting his mentor, thwarting the guy that he was, who basically wanted to partner with him and lead to the promised land. And now he's superseding him. And so this was this all around was just a great, great story. The Vision, I kind of wish they didn't show up, because this match didn't need the Vision. Like, we didn't need Theory and Paul showing up. It wasn't necessary, because the match had all the emotion and action and energy in it that it need, and the story in it that it needed. And their presence, if anything, just kind of, it's just, I was kind of like, get out. Yeah. It's like I'm swatting at flies. Theory. Paul, get out of here. We don't need you. Who told you to show up? Heyman? I didn't like it.
It's like the old cartoon with the big bulldog and the little dog. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Spike, where are we gonna go?
And since we're talking about arena look and we're talking about entrance look and everything, Braun looked like he rolled out of bed with that hair. I mean, buzz that thing down, get it. Like, I want a haircut that I can set my watch to. That's right, Grandpa Simpson. There it is.
Talk about Johnny Unitas, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, who does.
That's a haircut I can set my watch to. Whatever the hell that means. I don't even know what that means.
He didn't either. Nice deep cut on that one, sir, by the way.
It's one of those lines that has always stuck with me, and is one of the hallmarks of the first 10 years of The Simpsons.
I remember that from The Simpsons, and I was not an avid watcher, so that's...
First 10 years of that show, man, the writing was so freaking good. I mean, just comedy-wise, so good. So good. All right, well, we got to get moving here. So what, sir... what is so we both picked, let me flip back over to our
Simpsons are currently in their 37th season. How in the freaking hell is that even the thing?
It just is.
Wow. Anyways, sorry.
All right. So we both chose Braun Breakker to win. So let me get our points here. So we each get +2. Or do we get +1 because we both got? I don't know. Yeah, actually, I think we do +2 for winner.
Yes.
All right. And then what did you have for our ratings?
I know this is going to hose me, but I gave this one 4 stars. This was way better than I thought it was going to be. It just overall great pacing to the match. It honestly could have been a little bit higher if not for the stupidity. I would have gone a 4.25 star had this not had the stupidity of disregarding countout rules and then trying to pull me into the drama of a near double countout. That is such an egregious, smack in the face insult to my intelligence. I'm almost tempted to downgrade it to 3.75 stars, but no, I'll stick with 4 because it was a really good match.
Yeah. No, I actually did the same. I thought this was a very, very strong opener, and there were a couple of missteps in the match. Just sequence move wise, but the story they were telling, the way it was told, this was great. This was good, and this is where Rollins, being the vet, and he's almost or is 40 now, in a lot of ways playing the role Punk is playing. Where it's as much about him getting one over on his opponents at times, but now he's starting to realize, I need to. I can't keep up with some of these young guys. So what is he going to do? And no, just everything about this match felt on point and really well done. So I gave it 4 stars. My original rating was 3.75. I felt this was going to be a strong one. This one exceeded my expectations. So I gave it 4. I think you had this at 3.
I did.
Understandably.
I was very down on this event, and
you were.
There's believe me, there's still some down to come. Don't you think I've I've softened up in my old age.
All right, so I'm going to get a +1 for the stars on that one. Really, really good opener.
And just
yes,
a nit to pick, sir. Seth Rollins is 39 years old. He isn't turned 40 until May 28th. So happy early birthday, Seth Rollins.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, he's going to nitpick that one. He's like, I ain't 40 yet. Once you get over 40, then it's like whatever. But leading up to that, like I
was going to make a statement about the drink you're drinking, but I'm just going to not, because I'm just going to go to a very, very dark and dirty place, which I should not.
Cocked and loaded tonight. The cocked and loaded.
Our next match is for the United States Championship, or in my head canon, the United States Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
That sounds so much better.
Actually, I'm more of I think the Intercontinental Championship needs the heavyweight in there again. U.S. Championship, I can deal with that. I want the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, as the Macho Man used to call it. I like that.
It sounded so good when he said that too.
Yeah.
All right, we have and I'm trying to. I've been using this term or this phrase incorrectly. Does Trick Williams say lemon pepper stepper as a slam against his opponent, or is it something he calls himself as a goofy nickname?
I believe it's the shoes that he's wearing.
Okay.
Because
I thought he used the phrase derogatorily towards Sammy at one point in the preview to the match, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. You know what?
He might have.
This is where Paul Levesque and I are on the same page. I don't know what the heck it means, but it works.
And you don't need to know.
Just listen to him say lemon pepper stepper. Amen, Trick. Keep it going, baby. Keep it going.
It's like half of the stuff The Rock used to say. Like, you didn't truly understand what he was saying.
No,
it just sounded good. So you're like, okay, fine, I'll roll with it.
You didn't. But we have the reigning defending champion in Whoop That Trick Williams versus Sammy. I don't know what the heck is going on with me right now. Middle-aged and crazy, over the hill, Zayn. Sammy comes out, booed for his intro, but acting as the babyface, slapping hands all the way down to the ring.
Hold on a minute. I just got to pause you there. If there's one person who could pull this off, like, there needs to be a Sami Zayn head injury, and Sammy needs to think that he is Terry Funk. Like a wild-haired Muslim Canadian Terry Funk. And he needs to start speaking with a Texas accent, carrying a brand, like the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it now. It'd be great.
That could
Yeah,
work.
no, there's no heel heat on Sammy. Like, he's getting some boos, but it's not nearly enough on his intro. And he's coming down, and Michael Cole is trying to sell him as like jaded and this and that, and then they cut to him in the ring and he's got a big smile on his face. I'm like, he looks the opposite of jaded, Michael.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you this, but are you looking at your monitor? Like, somebody tell Sammy to frown. Something. Oh my gosh.
Well, it almost feels like the booze and the heat he's getting is more like, I don't want to say it's X-Pac heat, but it's kind of like that go away heat of you don't belong. Like the fans just are like, enough with you in the title hunt. Like we want to see something else, like enough with you.
Well, he's the
like,
example
that's the feel
of,
I
like,
got.
You just have not pulled the trigger. We've rooted for him, and now when he's at his least interesting, you're trying to get me interested, and we're done. We've moved on. Like, we were quite happy with Carmelo, and then you took Carmelo away from us, and now we've got Trick. So you better not take Trick away from us, you know, as a champ, and give it back to Sammy. So, and actually, I mean, even then, it's like, well, we had Ilya, and everyone liked Ilya. And then they gave Carmelo. Well, okay, it makes sense to give it to Carmelo, like he ought to. And then Sammy, the frack, like. That was
I still hear the bass vibrating in the United Center with Trick Williams' theme. Like, even though I'm listening to it at home on the ESPN feed, I'm just like, it just takes me back, because and it's funny how that sticks with me, because it wasn't like I like when we were taking in his intro, to the Elimination Chamber, it wasn't like I said, wow, that was an amazing entrance, but there was something captivating about it. Like, this guy just has it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, it's no mystery why he's where he is. He's got something, and he's going to be a freaking star.
Well, when he first showed up on the main roster, and I saw it on TV, I'm like, people are into this dude. And then being in the arena when he came out, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is another level when you're actually in person. Like, as soon as it hits that whoop that trick. Like
Mhm.
it is loud.
Mhm.
I mean, over like Rover don't even quite cover it with this dude. And
Yeah.
and the fun, I just want to make sure I get this in because I noted this down specifically. Wade Barrett saying dollar bills is pure comedy gold.
Oh God, yeah.
That was fan friggin' tastic.
Yeah.
I love that. Dollar. I'm like, oh my gosh. It'd be almost like Steven Regal was watching and he was like,
Steven Regal doesn't have to say anything. All he has to do is have someone put that hat on his head backwards, and he starts doing that dance where he's like,
actually, I would love it if some night Little Yachty couldn't make it, and Steven and Trick's like, who's gonna come out with me? And Steven Regal's like, I guess I could go.
He should. He absolutely he should bring that back. The fans would go nuts for him. Oh my gosh.
Kidding? Oh my gosh.
I'm waiting for them to bring him out with Danhausen to recreate the cursing and then the weird walk thing that happens to him when he gets cursed. Like we got to bring that back.
Actually, they don't even have to do that. Just a backstage segment where all of a sudden Steven Regal's walking by and Danhausen's there and Steven's like, nope, no. Walks away just as quickly as he can.
You know what they got to do is this year when we get to Survivor Series and they do War Games, and inevitably someone brings Regal out to announce War Games because that's his shtick. That's when you got to have Danhausen come out and that would be perfect. That is comedy gold right there.
War Game
comedy gold. That's right.
I actually do not have a ton of notes for this match.
I do.
Okay, good.
Because this match was better in my mind than their WrestleMania match. Like I felt like this match was a better match than what they did at WrestleMania.
It wouldn't take much because I didn't think much of their WrestleMania match. So,
and again, kind of like the prior match too. Like there was a couple times during the match, not so much between. Well, I mean, there was a couple moments with Sammy and Trick where there was like an intensity thing happening there with the fight. But it was mostly with Little Yachty than anything, which sounds silly to say, but like Sammy like teed off on him a couple times, like to a point where I'm like, holy crap! Like is he okay?
Yachty earned his money in this match. Like he actually served a purpose, and it worked a little bit better than like he was just an appendix. At WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but yeah, I overall, like, I didn't hate this match, but I can't say that I loved it. Like the big standout for me was when Trick started stomping Sammy to the rhythm of "Whoop That Trick."
Yes.
I was
more of that, please.
It's like, son of a bitch, this kid is ready. Like, oh my gosh, he just gets it. And I don't care if someone gave that to him or whatever. He sold that like $1 million. And whether he came up with it or someone was like, what if you started stomping Sammy? Like you just kind of did the motion and then you start and people will start chanting it.
Yep.
So good. So
very good. Very good.
And then the only other note that I had there was like another 10-minute outside excursion with weapons. There's no count out. There's no DQ. Like nothing matters anymore. Everything is a no DQ match. Like just whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
Why we even have a ref? Honestly, like
I'm sure Bubba Ray and his host are going to have some things to say about that. So his co-host.
But anyways, what are the notes that you have here, sir?
You already hit the rhythm of "Whoop That Trick" with the kicking. There was one point where Trick bitch slapped Sammy there. Just slapped the taste. So good, slap your mama. So it was just like that. Hey, mama.
From the room to the tutor.
That's right. It was very interesting. The "Let's go, Sammy sucks" chant. So apparently he's inherited that from Cena, which is both.
Well, then at one point it just sounded like they were both like Sammy sucks. Sammy sucks just took over both sides.
I think it's when he went house on Little Yachty that everyone started to gang up against him at that point because it felt a little
And bonus points for Sammy actually starting to work heel.
Yes.
Which was a thing in WrestleMania that I was like, okay, you're supposed to be the heel. Start doing some heel stuff.
Yep.
And I get like, oh, well, they have to take their time. No, you don't have to take the time. People are already like giving you go away heat. Like at least give them a reason to hate you for realsies within the universe instead of like hoping that it's going to work. So good for. I mean, points for him on that. But geez, took a long.
Good back and forth where Sammy was slapping around Trick, and then Trick followed up with a kick and a neck breaker. It just, it was nice back and forth between the two of them. Here I have Sammy with the Blue Thunder Bomb failing for the 2,304th time. I mean, seriously, like, why even go for the pin attempt? You know what's going to happen after you do the move. Just get up and do the next move. It's like, don't even pin him, for crying out loud. Maybe if you don't do that, do a move and then try to pin him, you'll land it. Who knows? Maybe. But yeah. And then the whole thing with Sammy playing possum with his knee was once again fine heel shtick in this moment right there. That was good.
Yeah.
Sammy using the kendo stick for a near fall, that got a good crowd reaction. Again, the crowd was locked in. Like they were all in for Trick and wanting to see Sammy lose.
Once the matches started, the crowd really did kick in. It made me feel bad about kind of pointing out at the beginning like they didn't know what to do. But like once the matches started, this crowd was ready to engage with the actual match, which I so appreciated. It did help. It helped enhance the viewing experience for me.
Sure. Oh yeah. Sammy with a nasty DDT on the stairs and then a haluva kick to the back of the head of Lil Yachty. Like, dude, he was not holding back on Lil Yachty. He was freaking nailing everything on that guy.
Well, because Lil Yachty ain't showing up on Friday night to tee off on Sammy, so why not?
That's true.
Take out your aggravations.
But the Trick shot after the missed haluva kick and Trick takes it. I thought I thought it was a much better match. I gave this one. Let me go up to my rating here. I give this one 3.5 stars. My WrestleMania rating. Oh shoot! I closed the window. Let me. Oh shush you!
I'm just saying.
You're just being a pain in the keister. Let's see. Not that one.
The chicken cock, if you will.
And it kind of. I guess not that much. I gave their match at WrestleMania 3.25 stars. I gave this one 3.5. So wow, it was a whole quarter point better. It actually felt better than that, but I don't know. It didn't feel like giving him that extra boost made sense.
You give me so much shit for saying that before, but it felt, you're like, and here you are, it felt more, but I'm not going to give him that rating. Okay.
All right. What's your rating, sir?
3 stars even. Like, it was better than what I thought it was going to be, but still, it took so long for them to really start pulling the trigger on the Sammy heel stuff. Like, it feels like at this point, honestly, like you need to get Sammy into a feud with someone else. Like we've kind of spent all of the ammo on this. Like, let Trick move on to some other folks. Like, don't shackle
we got to see Trick versus Carmelo. Carmelo needs to get a return bout here. Yes. Come on now.
And let Sammy go off and start doing some weird stuff with other people. That'd be cool. But yeah, and that's actually like giving, again, some extra points to Sammy for actually working heel. That was good to see, finally.
Indeed.
And then next up,
what was next? Let's see.
And actually, I gotta comment on another thing, because we did drag this out about WrestleMania. Like the ad content in this show was minuscule. Like there was of course the obligatory, self-serving WWE, club WWE shop, all the normal stuff that you would normally pimp. But I think that we had like a couple of movie promos, and that was really it. There was not a lot of like fat in between these matches, which was like, oh, maybe they were listening a little bit. Either that or no one really wanted to be on Backlash. Who knows? But it was kind of nice feeling like, oh, I can get up and have a quick pee, but that's it. Or I can run and grab another beer or whatever, but that's about it. Like, I don't have an extended time to go throw some tater tots in or something. Like, I gotta be back. Like, this thing is rolling right along.
Random thing to say. Damn it, I gotta throw some tater tots on. Dude, you think you would have done that before the event started, sir?
I love how tater tots have kind of come up in the same way that Brussels sprouts did. Like, after like growing up on Brussels sprouts, like you were like, Brussels sprouts suck. And now it's like you throw some glaze on them, you roast them and some garlic and have a little Parmesan. It's like, whew, Brussels sprouts are amazing. And
hey, for the Mando and Grogu movie, Burger King is having some cheesy tots, apparently. So,
dude, if you get tots just right, they are amazing. It is like one of the best forms of potato out there.
To wit, I said, why haven't either Burger King or McDonald's invested in Tots a long time ago. Like this feels like low hanging fruit for the two of them.
Oh, well, because basically it's like the hash brown. So I mean, a tot is it's kind of the hash brown for McDonald's. You got the old school. You got the
Tot is the
oblong.
better packaging of a hash brown.
However, my favorite was always the Burger King take on the tots, which was the tiny little like dots. So it was essentially like half of what a normal tot is. You cut the barrel in half, and then you have so it increases your like fried crustiness like by 100%. It's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's had plenty of the chicken cock because he's getting deep into this whole tater tot thing. He's gotten deep into the arena. He's gotten deep into the costuming that's going on. He's talking about everything but the damn wrestling that happened in the event.
I've been talking plenty about the wrestling because right now we've got one of my favorite matches of the night. We've got Kit Wilson and The Miz versus Danhausen and his mystery partner, which was great in that. Number one, first of all, the little catch-up movie that they kind of did to
oh my gosh, I texted you on that one. I'm like, oh, chef's kiss.
Again, everything that Danhausen has done after that debut, which now in retrospect, that debut makes perfect sense. It was to set this up and has set up everything after that. Mm-hmm. Like now it makes perfect sense why they did what they did. And whether it's because they adjusted or whether that was the plan all along, it's worked. But that kind of catch-up movie was so great. It was so in line with Danhausen's character and everything else. I loved rolling out the cloning machine.
Out here in the Midwest, there was a show called Svengoolie, which was basically a guy who dressed up. I'm not going to say looks like Danhausen, but he kind of dressed up like a gothic sort of character, and he would introduce basically what we used to experience on the East Coast as the Creature double feature that was on WLVI. You remember in Boston?
Yeah.
And so when I saw that treatment to the way they were, kind of previewing the match, it really looked like something from that sort of thing.
Yes.
It was a very Midwest. Svengoolie is huge out here in Chicago. And I don't think it's on anymore, but the guy is like a living legend.
Well, Danhausen's like a Chicago guy, isn't he? Like a Midwestern guy?
Well, I don't know if he's a Chicago guy. I know he's tied to Punk.
But he's
from
kind
their
of
AEW.
I feel like he's a Midwestern sort of fellow. Like he's from that area.
Could be.
Anyways.
But the treatment of it just was very much in that vein. And so when I saw that, it made me think of that. So yeah, no, very well done. Very cool.
Yeah. And then of course we get the cloning machine, after Danhausen does the whole Danhausen mobile, we have the cloning machine.
By the way, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, and I saw that box, just real quick. I saw that box. And as soon as I saw that, the whole Obafemi thing just completely evaporated for me. I'm like, son of a bitch, it isn't going to be Oba. No. But not just because of that, but like I even thought about too, even if Danhausen came down, like you and I had convinced ourselves Oba would be the great joke to play on Miz because now Miz has to face the ruler.
Yes.
But it really stood out to me how odd it would look like to have Danhausen with Oba.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
and then
sorry,
the internet had it convinced that it was going to be Punk dressed like in Danhausen regalia.
Sure. Yep.
And like be called like something else and all that.
Punkhausen.
Which, I mean, then when they brought up the cloning machine, I'm like, this could totally work because I could see Punk being the kind of guy who's like, I get to come out of a box? Yeah, I want to come out of a box.
Yep.
Like he's totally in the bucket list, part of his career. Like, dude, I've never come out of a box. That would be awesome. Let me do that one more time, one time before I retire. Like that'd be sweet. I've never worn face paint. Let me wear face paint. I could totally see all that. So at that point, I'm like, I think it's going to be Punk. And of course, then we get Minihausen, which the crowd was crapping all over. Just didn't like this at all. And then, of course, Minihausen gets into the ring, and he's a house of fire.
Yes.
He's a Minihausen of fire, ladies and gentlemen. Go and turns the crowd completely around inside of like 2 minutes.
Yes.
And this is where like there are some people who understand psychology in a way that is so intuitive. Like they never studied it. They're not like a licensed psychologist or anything like that, but they get it. And and I go back to my friend Bill from Revels Glen. an Irishman that I used to go see sing at a place in Dover that the man they called Tim used to have to pick me up routinely from because there was no way I was driving home. I had seen him show up and have a hostile crowd, like a crowd that just, it was a Friday night in an Irish pub, but for some reason that crowd was not there to hear music. They hated everything. And within 45 minutes to an hour, he would have a crowd that was heckling him, booing, ambivalent. He'd have them standing on chairs, singing along, clapping. When he would take like a set break at like midway through the evening, they'd be cheering him like it was the Stones.
Yeah.
It was the most, and he could just figure out how to do it through however he would talk back to them, give them extra crap, or he would play different songs, or he knew how to work a crowd. And it's feeling more and more like Danhausen, for whatever reason, has this ability to like, I'm going to subvert all of your expectations. It's not going to be punk. It's not going to be Oba. It's going to be Minihausen. And then the crowd was into this match. And of course, part of it comes down to like the Miz and Kit Wilson, because they worked their ass off. They sold their ass off for Minihausen to one point where I think, what was it? When Miz gave Minihausen the side Russian leg sweep, he swept the leg that wasn't there because he had Minihausen up in the air, but he swept the leg like he normally would. And Minihausen's leg is a good 1.5 feet away, but he still swept it.
Yeah.
I was like, everything about it was just great. I love how then, of course, we get Kit Wilson throwing Minihausen back into the cloning machine, which then becomes a replicator. And we get a flock, a herd, if you will, of Minihausens just flooding the arena. And they're apparently like, they didn't show us this, but they're creeping and crawling all over the announce table and sitting on Wade Barrett's lap. Which, how do they not show us this? How do they not cut away for a couple seconds? You know, I felt cheated, the fact that we didn't get to see this. It was very interesting then. And again, this whole thing just got goofier and goofier and goofier as we went along. Before we get to kind of like the crescendo of this thing, is there anything that you want to contribute to this as well, sir? Because I've been monopolizing this.
Let's see. I didn't have a whole lot of notes on this because it was just taking it all in. And quite honestly, there wasn't, I mean, it was a good match, but it was more about the show than it was about the match. And so it's not like I'm sitting here like, oh my God, they did this move, but Minihausen, did, let's see, Frankensteiner at one point. Danhausen had some good offense, including a German suplex. Miz and Kit, did some interesting, maneuvers with like they worked well with him. It didn't look awkward. What else? Let's see, Minihausen. Oh, one thing I got to call out. Credit to Wade Barrett going completely apoplectic when Minihausen uses Wasteland. How dare you soil my move? Like, thank you, Wade Barrett, for being who you are and showing such what would you call it? Such horror, such yes. I mean, he was so offended by the fact that the Minihausen laid out Wasteland on this bigger person than he.
But selling of it, and everyone was full in the mode of selling this, and it was great because of that. Because it like the worst thing that you can do is try and do something like this half-assed. No, you just got to go full tilt loco on this, man. You got to commit to the bit. And everybody did, to the point of like Miz sweeping the leg that's like 1.5 feet above where he's sweeping, but he's doing it anyways. And everyone kind of realizes like how stupid it looks, but yet it's awesome. I love that when Minihausen was going to curse Kit Wilson had the mirror to reverse the curse.
Yes.
Again, it was
that was great.
This is the only way you can elevate the stupidity of it. And the crowd went ballistic. They loved it. I'm like, oh my gosh. The fact that you were booing Minihausen when he came out, and now you're like, oh my gosh, no. no, we want Minniehausen to win. Like, oh my goodness, it was so great.
Yeah.
I love this match. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a 5-star match. It's my
greatest
match of all time. You are going to be shocked by this. I give this 3.5 stars because it is not a great wrestling match, but for the entertainment and the comedic value and the spectacle of it, it was excellent for what it was. It was not intended to be AJ Styles versus John Cena. But they gave you the bang for your buck in this thing. You know what I mean?
All right.
So 3.5 stars. For Danhausen and the Minniehausens.
Well, your bona fides are in question now. I gave this 2 3/4 stars because it was entertainment, but it was not to my liking for a 3+ star match. Thank you very much. I have a very delicate palate, or a very
no, you got underwear that's like 2 sizes too small. You need to loosen up a little bit.
Come on now. I have a very developed palate for
everything is all snugged in
wrestling.
there. That's what's causing your tension. You got to let loose, man.
No, I don't know about that.
Let's go commando for a couple days. Let it all hang. You'd be much better.
All right. Well, we each got the winner correct. Danhausen and Minniehausen.
No acknowledgement, just direct segue. We're moving on.
I'm moving right to the points, baby, because I got +1 on this one. I was 0.25 off the pace. You were a whole full 1 star off the pace, so I get the extra point, which is okay. I may need this for the side bets to kind of cover. So but no. Overall, I mean, it was what it was. It was a fun match, and Miz and Kit Wilson played their role very well. This is all about keeping Danhausen in the win column and sending I don't want to say sending everyone home happy, but from that match, everyone kind of came out of it like, yay, the good guy won. Mm-hmm. So very, very well done, and good to see the Minniehausens come back after WrestleMania. I think it was a good use of them after that little gimmick that they did at the big event.
And so supposedly the main Minniehausen in the match,
I think he's a AAA wrestler.
Well, he used to be on the main roster. It was El Torito, something like that.
Yes.
And he was cut back like 10 years ago by WWE.
Yes.
He's been in AAA, but this is like his return. It's kind of like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Dude got it and shined, man. It was great. Which brings us to our next match, Io Sky, the genius of the sky versus the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
I'm going to say this right now. This was the match of the night.
Yes.
This was the match of the night, hands down.
Undoubtedly. I loved how number one, does Asuka have kind of like one of the most low-key bangers of an intro song or what? Like,
she does.
Damn. Like when that thing gets going, and the fact is, I love the fact that Asuka is like just grooves out to everything. Like even when I forget it was
I will say this:
she grooves out to everybody's intro music. Like
I will say, she does. When we were at the United Center, she was grooving to every other lady's. She came out 1 or 2. No, she came out number 2, I think.
Yeah.
And when Rhea Ripley's music hit, she's just like getting down in the chamber. The camera's not on her.
I've never been to a rave. I want to go to a rave with Asuka. Like that is I want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say it this way.
Yes.
And not the other way. Shinsuke Nakamura is the Asuka of men's professional wrestling because she is the one who sets the bar in terms of theatrics coming to the ring. She comes to the ring, she's grooving, she's doing her thing, she's got the mask on. And this is no slight on Shinsuke, but typically we would frame it the other way, that she's the Shinsuke Nakamura of women's wrestling. No. She sets the pace.
Yes.
Shinsuke, and I'm not saying Shinsuke ripped her off, but I'm just saying she is more engaging and charismatic in doing that. And I feel like he does that too, but she just does it so much better. Like to me, she's the one who sets the bar.
Yeah.
And to your point, because of her music, but because she plays into it so well. And also, I don't know if we've talked about this. I think I might have mentioned this in a past show when we've talked wrestling in some way, shape, or form. But, she also had the tall task of having to sell in a completely empty arena, the fact that Becky Lynch was pregnant and had to forfeit the world championship. And I remember watching that show and having to watch her sell that the way that she did. And it was awkward and it was weird, but she made it work somehow. Like there was this blend of over the top joy coupled with this very, this heart that kind of came with what she was doing. It felt weird in the moment, but also you kind of got it. It was like she's a colleague and she's happy for her colleague. And while, I don't think Becky, did she forfeit the belt? Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that Asuka was so committed to the bit that she made it work somehow at an emotional level,
Yeah.
And so, to your point, she has one of the best entrances, and she's such a show girl. You know what I mean? Like the way she does it. Don't mean in a negative way. I just mean she's very showy with her intro, and when she's entering, and when she's in the ring, and she's a presence, and she's going to be a Hall of Famer in no time. You know what I mean? Like I know she's kind of in the twilight of her career, but she's phenomenal, and it sucks that we're at this point where she's probably on her way out or winding her career down, because man, I remember her in NXT, watching her on some of the NXT events, and she's an amazing talent. So
and of course, I have no notes for this match. I have one note.
I have some, but
well, good, because I was so locked into this.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to watch it.
It was hard. It was hard to take notes because, you're just mesmerized by the freaking match.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of the times you get a little bit of a chance in between moves. I was like, I don't want to miss what's going on here. The only note I had was, of course, we want Kyrie chance before the first lockup.
Yep.
Which, sorry folks, that ain't happening.
I had read some rumors that they were potentially bringing her in for one night only to insert herself into the match to kind of close the story out. Glad they didn't do it, but I think it would have been kind of cool if they had, because at least the three ladies would have been together,
It would have been if circumstances were different, because and we're recording this on Monday, May 11th, and supposedly Asuka has some time here on Raw tonight. Neither one of us has watched it because we've been recording. However, it sounds as though between this and Asuka posting on Instagram with the background of Frank Sinatra's "My Way,"
she posted a lot, by the way, on Instagram. So
so it sounds like this might be her swan song in the WWE, which makes sense. I mean, even if it sounds like she's kind of trying to set up a last show in Japan, and also is a very enterprising business person, and has several enterprises going for after retirement. So I imagine at a certain point, like the body, maybe she's taking the AJ Styles route of like, I'd like to step away while I'm still functional and can make sure that later in life I will be functional, or as functional as I can be. You know what I mean? So who knows what, if she's actually retiring or not. But I mean, if this were to play out longer, then maybe that would make sense. But I'm glad it was just these two, because this was a hell of a match.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, so the funny thing is, like during the match, I had no notes. And in retrospect, the couple of notes that I had, lots of great combos, lots of great reversals. It felt like at one point Io managed to get in an Asuka lock, but I don't know the Asuka lock well enough to recognize it, because I'm sure these two have like variations on variations of variations. But there was a lot.
I have a note: Asuka kicking Io in the head multiple times and almost dancing while doing it was absolutely hysterical.
Yes,
like she was just she was turning it into just like a dance move. It was that's how good she is. And it didn't look weird. It was completely within the character and within the tone of the match. It was phenomenal. Let's see.
The crowd
Asuka
was so into this. That's one of the other notes I had. The crowd was just so into this match.
Oh yeah, they were huge into it. Early on, Asuka with a nasty throw of Io's head into the turnbuckle column. That like I get that column is probably rigged so that when they hit it, it makes more noise than what's really going on. But man, when she hit that, you're just like, holy crap. It's just like, good God. Let's see. Nasty Boston Crab, half crab on Io under the rope. So Io was kind of under the bottom rope, and Asuka locked her into. It was kind of like a half crab Boston Crab maneuver for a little bit. I mean, just both of them were just like opening up on each other like big time. Like Io had some stiff kicks and strikes on Asuka. Asuka had some nasty kicks and strikes on Io. I have one nasty kick by Asuka on Io while she was running. That was like super nasty. Like she's, with velocity right into the whole damn thing. I don't know how they regulate that so they're not going full bore. I mean, I'm sure at some point there's some real, contact happening there, but my God.
I think in some cases you just have to accept like this is going to hurt tomorrow. But it's
Io with she had this missile drop kick that just looks like she got so much freaking elevation coming off the top, and then perfectly just lawn darted her feet right into Asuka. It was incredible. Looked amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had some near falls. Loved how in the middle of the match both women are just spent. They were just both just kind of trying to get the better of the other. What do I have here? Oh, okay. So Asuka tried the Asuka lock a few times. Io actually, I think, threw on what should have been called as a crossface chicken wing. It was what Bob Backlund did back in the 90s when he was having his little run. That's what it looked like because she was pulling the face and pulling the arm in the opposite direction.
I couldn't tell if that was the Asuka lock or not because I don't know her moves.
I don't think that's the Asuka lock. Okay. That was something else. I love how Io avoided Asuka's butt shot through the ropes.
Okay. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like she does this like running butt jump or whatever, and Io moved, and Asuka like went through the ropes to the outside. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Loved how Io used Barrett's notebook, which, by the way, Michael Cole mentioned. Barrett, no notes on that page somehow. So clearly just there for show.
That is one of the things I don't like about the chumminess of the announcers now is like the ha 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 ha. No, be adversarial, be Gorilla and Heenan, be Gorilla and Body, be, even JR and King. There was no inside chuckling back and forth. At least if there was, it was very rare.
Yeah.
Like that is the one thing that I wish that they could kind of bring back. It's like, okay, it's a heel commentator and a face commentator. Like be that instead of like chuckling around with each other. That's the thing that to me it takes away from it. But no, it was in a way like I did chuckle at it too, even though I shouldn't have. But no, that was a great bit. That was and the way that they both sold it, like the slow moving of the thing afterwards, almost like does she have is there more mist? Is there more mist? That was great. That is the one time I will accept the fact that they were outside for way too long.
Yes.
Because you at least gave me that.
There were a couple points in the match, but like toward the end, there was like a German suplex by Asuka, and then Io kind of reciprocated. Like it was like they were trading moves with each other. Yes. And that was kind of the story going on, was how, Asuka was getting the better of Io, but Io would come back with almost like in kind.
Anything you can do, I can do better, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. And so just really good. There was a point where they were both just kind of like, slapping each other. They were both, I think they were on their knees. Like it was when they were kind of spent toward the end of the match, they were kind of like slugging it out a little bit. With I think it was mostly with slaps, not so much with punches. But then we get the bullet train attack again, and we get the over the moonsault for the win. And then it was great to have the show of respect. Io kind of does the bow of respect to Asuka, and then like she kind of loses it at that point. And
deep bow, like, oh my gosh, like folded her like to the almost forehead to the floor. Which one? I was like, oh my gosh, the flexibility. I wish I could do that. Like I need to get to yoga class this week because I hurt just looking at that. But yes, oh my gosh, that was the point where I was like, I think we just watched Asuka's last match.
Yep.
Like that, as soon as Io went into that bow, I'm like, oh, okay. Are we going to see Asuka's boots in the ring? Like her, like, I don't think they're boots, like Nikes or something, but like, is this where we're heading? No, that was fantastic, and I loved how the crowd read the room and understood. I feel like they understood, even though they might not understand the complete history of these two wrestlers. They understood the moment, like, wow, this is big. Like, this means something.
Yeah.
And the fact that Asuka kind of, after being the heel and all this, and then just turns around and hugs Io, like, got it. You know, that was a beautiful moment. Really, it was.
Yep. It was. And it didn't feel awkward because
No.
leading up to it, you know, Asuka had been so, you know, negative or evil toward her and that sort of it didn't feel out of place. Like everyone just kind of accepted it for what it was and it worked. Absolutely worked. So what was your star rating on this one, sir? Because we each chose Io to win. So
4.25.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
What would you give the 5?
Let me check. Hey, I got to check and make sure I'm accurate here.
I mean, it's match of the night. It's not like match of all time, but
so match of the night, I gave it 4.5 stars.
Fair enough. I could see myself bumping this up to 4.5 for sure. It was really good, but 4.25 just kind of feels right, you know?
Yes. Yep. So I was 1 off the pace. You were 0.5 off the pace, so you get the +1 on the star rating. All right. And that takes us to the main event.
Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, for this championship right here.
No. Don't besmirch the big gold belt. Are they saying that is the tied to the lineage now, or is it a separate lineage?
No, I think it's a separate lineage, unfortunately.
It's too bad because
I think that lineage is built into the belt Cody has. So, because it is kind of the culmination of 2 other belts.
Which, again, another reason to be pissed off at Roman Reigns.
Well,
so, yes, Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the world's heavyweight and ladies and gentlemen, it's not the world heavyweight championship. It's the world's heavyweight championship.
This matters to Uncle Todd in a great deal for some reason.
It does. Good God, lots of time in between intros for the crowd not to do anything. Like the crowd was just sort of like waiting. Like it's not like they were chanting or, you know, they ole, 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 like something you want to build the atmosphere. Like they ain't doing squat and we're just still sitting here with our thumb up our ass waiting for like the sound guy to change the CDs or something. I don't know what we're waiting on.
I have a nit to pick with what you just said, though. I felt Jacob's entrance was good.
It was.
I felt it made him look like a killer.
Did.
Like he looked like he was ready to murder someone. Roman did his usual plotting entrance, you know, where he has to soak in the crowd. So that part I agree with you, but I felt Jacob's entrance was on point.
He's back to his OTC theme and not like the original the actual tribal chief theme, which I was like, okay, if you're going back to that, like no, now we're back to the kind of, that was a one-off. Like, okay, fine, whatever. I know this is going to be a shocker to everybody, but this match had a slow start because Roman don't like to stretch. He's like Shaq. He likes to play himself into shape. I did really like the early use of the Tongan death grip on the outside. That was a shocking bit to me.
Well, so I know you said it was slow to start, but I mean, I had a note, Roman with a shoulder tackle, and he's kind of looking out the crowd gloating, and then you see behind him, Jacob pops right up.
Yeah, but again, it's like, there was no hurry. And I get what they're trying to do.
It's okay, but it's not as slow as what his matches used to be. So my thesis, my theme on this whole match is this was not a Roman Reigns match. This was not a match where he's walking around in control, talking a lot of smack to his opponent, like, "Oh, come on," blah, 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 you know,
exactly.
like he normally does.
I actually kind of enjoyed this match. So
Jacob beat the freaking hell out of him.
Not nearly enough.
Well, not nearly enough, but enough where it was different because it may have started out. I didn't feel it started out slow, but I hear you.
I did like how Reigns started working Jacob's Tongan grip hand. Because again, it was a different thing that, and to your point, like it wasn't a Roman Reigns match. Like this is something we don't see out of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like him working a body part, even though it was, quite honestly, it's like part-time work, really. It wasn't like going after something, really. He kind of did a little something, but it was different enough that I'll give him a little bit of credit.
Mm-hmm.
I did like how Jacob kicks out of the Superman punch at 1.
Yes. Yep.
That was nice. Reigns powerbomb through a stubborn announce table that like took forever to collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's getting in trouble because like it's gotta be weaker but stronger. We get a spear for 2. Like honestly, like
I love the 10 headbutts by Fatu instead of the punches.
that was nice.
He mounts the corner and he gets ready to punch. He's like, no. And then he goes into the headbutts for 10, which was great.
We got a pop-up drop plus a pop-up Samoan drop into a moonsault. That gets us 2.
Mm-hmm.
We get the punch exchange that lasted for friggin' ever
Mm-hmm.
before Roman finally drops first, which was a nice change.
Mm-hmm.
We get the Tongan death grip. Roman is up. We get a ref bump. Everything then is coming off of the ropes. We get a Superman punch into a spear for 2. And then we're heading towards the end of the match. Is there anything before this, before we bring this round up thing that
let's
you want
see.
to mention?
I have a note, just Fatu just seemed relentless in this match coming at Roman, and Roman not knowing what to do with that. I loved the Tongan death grip into a power bomb onto the table. Just before that, Roman with a drive-by on Jacob was good. Have another note. Roman just feels like he's fighting from behind throughout this match. It mirrored in some ways what Seth was going through with Braun Breaker. It's like he's throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this guy, and this guy is actually outlasting him and continuing to control. Like, I would not say Roman controlled this match. Jacob controlled this match.
No. I mean, if anything, I would feel it was almost even, which for Roman feels that much further out of whack.
And the pops for the near falls were just insane. Like Jacob hits the that moonsault for 2 3/4. Crowd goes insane. I love how at one point Fatu is running his mouth about. So again, Fatu is in the Roman Reigns position. He's running his mouth about Roman and gives a crotch chop before he goes up to do a swanton. But Roman puts his knees up, but then damages his knees because Fatu is so big coming down. Like, that was a great little touch there. Like, it wasn't just like Roman was okay after doing that. Like, he was
almost 300 pounds should not be able to hop up the ropes like that.
No.
That defies physics. Like, someone needs to be studying that at MIT.
Nope. I loved how Fatu did that corner. I call it the butt thump in the corner twice to Roman, which I thought was great. I mean, just
MAGA tribute, right?
Yeah, just absolutely nailed him.
Mm-hmm.
Roman comes back. We get 2 Superman punches. Fatu reverses. Reigns Superman punches him again into a spear. That's a near fall. The crowd is. I just have a note. The crowd is beside themselves at this point. Like, you can just hear it in their voices. They're just.
Don't say that to WWE, because then they're like, we should charge them twice as much if they're beside themselves. There's 2 of them.
That's true. So let's get to the end. What were you going to say on that?
All right. So here's where things really just fall apart, because we get the Tongan death grip in. Roman is stumbling around like I was usually Friday night at Biddy's, and somehow manages to pull off a turnbuckle cover with the faintest of touches.
Mm-hmm.
Something that usually like someone has to go over in the corner and play with for a little while. Roman just brushes by it and it falls off. And then Fatu ends up going into the buckle. We get a spear and Roman wins to retain.
One little detail you left out on that, though.
Yes.
One little detail you left out on that.
Okay.
Was while Roman was in the Tongan death grip, what I felt he did a very good job of was emoting the desperation that he was under at that moment, because he grabs the referee and then he grabs the turnbuckle cover. And I agree with you. That turnbuckle cover, I mean, especially after just seeing Becky Lynch beat AJ Lee and how much work she had to put in to get that freaking cover off, how the heck that just came off. Not to mention, he nails Jacob into that corner right in front of the referee, who's conscious and watching it, and there's no DQ. There's no, like, that's the part I don't understand, is why didn't you do a DQ on this one rather than having Jacob take the pin? It just doesn't make sense to me. But Jacob takes it full on in the head, falls over or is stunned, and then takes the spear and the 3 count, which is ridiculous. I
Yes.
text Uncle Todd like, WTF, what the hell is this?
Mhm.
But here's where they redeem themselves, I feel, is because now we have Jacob going in and just laying in the death grip. The match is over. He's just beating the hell out of Roman Reigns. And this goes from being again, much like the theme of the night, young overtaking, the veteran or the older one. Here we have Jacob Fatu. There is no one who comes out of this match, unless you're just a homer for Roman, being like, oh yeah, he's the dominant tribal chief. Like, this guy barely held on to his belt. Barely. Like, I actually have to applaud WWE for taking Roman Reigns and in 3 weeks going from him being the guy who is, pretty much in control through a good chunk of the Punk match and winning the world championship and being framed that way, to going into this match and now playing the role essentially that Punk was playing in his match. Like, he essentially was like what Punk was. He was getting the crap kicked out of him. The difference here is he took a freaking post-match beat down like we haven't seen in a long time. Like, Fatu was coming at him not once, not twice, but thrice with the Tongan death grip.
Times a lady.
Indeed. And I mean, we got the whole foaming at the mouth bit. We got, it was like Jacob walks out of there, and this is telling to me. Jacob walks out of there and he's interviewed backstage and he just runs up and down Roman, just calling him a punk ass bitch, that whole thing. And Roman, what is he doing? Oh, we got to get rid of him. He doesn't follow order. He does. Really, that's what's been funny about this whole feud is Roman comes off as, and I texted this to Uncle Todd, comes off as this vulnerable little biatch. He just sounds like a bellyacher every single step of the way. Oh, you shouldn't be using the Tongan death grip. It's okay that I do the spear 5,000 times and use my Superman punch, but you can't use the Tongan death grip. No, that's not the rules.
Yeah.
It's just, and the fact that crowd, and I'm kind of wondering if they're doing this consciously or kind of riding a line, they may turn the crowd against Roman at some point because he's starting to sound a lot like Bret Hart when Bret Hart went heel. Bret Hart went heel not because he was doing villainous things. He went heel because the crowd was like, you're a freaking whiny baby. And we don't want to hear. We're more interested in Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's a direct knock the crap out of you sort of guy. We don't want to hear about how you've been screwed over and over and over again. And Roman's kind of turning into that a little bit because he's like, this isn't how things should be. I'm the tribal chief. He should acknowledge me. I shouldn't be having to deal with this. Why am I being choked by this guy? It's incredible. So, this is part of the story, and I think this is a good story to tell because it's different for Roman. He's playing from behind, and he's fighting a guy who is getting the better of him every single step of the way. He looks weak. He looks like he doesn't deserve to be champion, and he doesn't deserve to be the tribal chief. Jacob does. And so here we are. So I thought they did a great job of, this match wasn't meant to crown Jacob, but by God, did they send him on his way to looking like a solid frickin' main eventer and a killer at that. That's rare. Obafemi, sure. The ruler, he's going to knock people around. But Jacob, he looks like a freaking killer going after Roman like this. Those are my thoughts.
I love the idea, and I hadn't thought of this, and to my own shame, it should have been a DQ. It should have been a DQ.
It should have. The ref he freaking saw it.
Jacob should not have eaten the pin on this. It should have been a DQ, and that way it's more ammo for Jacob to be like, you didn't actually beat me.
I didn't care that he lost. I cared about how he lost.
Exactly. But it should have. He should have been able to pull that card of you couldn't beat me.
Right.
Yes. You couldn't beat me. You call
Mm-hmm.
yourself the tribal chief. You're the head of the table. You're this and that and the other, and you couldn't beat me. You had to do this in order to beat me. So here's the thing. We are back to the same problem as before with Roman Reigns. The thing that I am nervous about. Actually, let me state the problem. The same old problem with Roman Reigns. Once you put the belt on him, How do you take the belt off of him without destroying the aura of the tribal chief? Because let's just be honest. That is the only thing he has going for him that keeps him over, is the aura. And in a weird sort of way, he is one of those people like a Kardashian or whoever that is famous for being famous. Like he's over because we've been told he's over. He is a big deal because we've been told he's a big deal. We've been told long enough that everyone's like, okay, well, I guess it's a big deal. But he's not a great technician.
No,
it's not because he's. See, I heard it. I heard a noise. Not quite yet, young grasshopper. Not quite yet. Say hi to Tim.
Hi.
Hello, welcome home.
He says hello and welcome home. Oh, he's happy. You going to bed? Yeah. Okay.
I'll use my entrance another time.
Okay. Oh, and there's Marco.
Can she give us a word of wisdom?
Oh, do you have a word of wisdom for the folks? You got to get over it this way a little. Over this way a little.
What time is it right now?
It's 11:31.
And you're watching Perspectives.
Hey, there it is.
Are you going to bed?
Yes.
All right. Good night. Love you. Can you make sure the cats are out of here? They both followed you up. Happy.
Oh yeah, what do Marco and Happy think of Kaylin?
Oh, they're both happy. They're happy
that's
she's
good.
home.
That's good.
I know, well, technically in about 12 hours because it was like 1 p.m. in the afternoon when you were born. Well, if you'd asked.
Oh, tell her my 9-year-old nephew is a huge K-pop Demon Hunters fan.
Oh, Tim's 9-year-old nephew is a huge K-pop Demon Hunters fan.
He loves the Golden song, so.
Loves the Golden song. Yeah. All right. Well, I got to finish up the show here before it's too late.
Tim that I'm going to see BTS?
Oh, Kaylin is going to go see BTS.
Ah! Yes.
Do you even know who BTS is?
I do know who they are, I'll have you know, sir.
He does. He knows who they are.
See?
I'm shocked. Shocked, I say.
See, it's a cultural thing. Okay?
It is a cultural thing. Well, I mean,
I'm a man of the world, sir.
You. I'm both sides here. What the hell's going on? I've lost complete control. I've got cats wandering around. Like, this is mayhem.
Mass hysteria.
It is.
I'm shocked that he knows about them.
Well, I mean, he is very worldly. All right. Well, good night. Sweet dreams.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too. I don't know where Happy.
Yeah, I don't know where Marco took off to.
They're both over there.
Oh, good. Can you flush them out, perhaps? Oh, there goes Happy. There's one.
Move, you big fat butt.
This ought to be interesting.
The great cat flushing of 2026.
Kind of. All right. Hey, Kaylin, you can leave him. I'll deal with him. Yeah. All right. Good night, honey. Love you.
I kind of hope the cat like jumps up on your desk and kind of like runs across the I mean,
He
no,
might.
seriously, that would be great. We need that on the show. We need some wildlife action going on, you know?
Might.
He's like
Who
the
knows?
Jacob Fatu of this show. You know, he just kind of does random crap when you don't even know it.
He actually does. That's his role in our household.
Well, there you have it.
So anyways, so where was I? So with Roman, like he's over because he's over, which is again, it's weird. So it's like, how do you get the belt off him without destroying that aura? And my answer is the direction that I don't know that WWE is going to go in. And you're kind of hinting at it, but I just don't know if they have the huevos to do it, because the way that you have to do this is you have to destroy the aura. You have to absolutely decimate and destroy the aura of the tribal chief. Like,
I think they're starting to do that.
Because
Because
are they actually going to do it in the way that they need to? Because the way that I think they need to do this, if they're actually going to be serious, if you're going to take this seriously, not only does Jacob get a return match, in that return match, he takes this up a notch, and he
Mhm.
does not just beat Roman, he
Mhm.
decimates him
Mhm.
to a point where it is uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And he beats him, and there is no doubt, to the point where like Roman is broken physically, mentally, and emotionally. We don't see Roman for a long ass time. And when he does come back, when Roman does
Are
come
you
back,
saying his break is earned?
he what?
That his break away from WWE is earned, as opposed to him just like leaving TV of his own free will. Like he's
Correct.
actually,
But like
there's a reason.
when he returns, it is a totally different Roman Reigns. Because right now the whole bluster is like, I run this place and this and that and the other. I allow this and I allow that. But yet he's a tribal chief with no tribe.
Yes.
So and they're totally not going to go the whole. We all thought they were going to go like a TKO versus WWE. They're not going to do that. Like it's just not going to happen. Fine. When Roman comes back, he needs to be a broken man to the point of like when he comes out, it's not the Roman Reigns entrance. Like
Mhm.
I would go so far as to say like there is no music. Roman walks to the ring head down.
Mm.
When he comes back, like even if you bring him back for SummerSlam, he comes back, he is a broken man. And then we watch the rebuilding of Roman Reigns. Something like that, because otherwise, like, what do you do? Like, and so if this is the way we're gonna go, because I would have rather it happen now. I would have rather actually it like come quick. Like the downfall of Roman Reigns just be like out of nowhere. But okay, fine, we're gonna build it up.
Mhm.
There needs to be a rematch immediately,
Mhm.
and that rematch needs to be decisive,
Mhm.
and it just needs to be annihilate who the tribal chief was. And in between there, like the Usos walk away,
Mhm.
and maybe even like what would really be wouldn't this be a bitch? Like the last image of Roman Reigns like walking out of the ring after he gets his ass kicked by Jacob Fatu, and Jacob is celebrating in the ring, and we see Roman like they cut back to Gorilla as Roman is just like being helped through Gorilla, and there's Solo
Mm. Mhm.
just shaking his head at him
I have
as he
thoughts.
gets helped out.
I
Again,
have
like
thoughts.
every insult to injury. But will WWE actually do that? Would Roman consent to do that? That is where because it's like, okay, if you're going to set this up, this is where this is what it needs to be. I don't have confidence that
So
they will actually follow through on that. That's where
here's my thought. I
where I'm
think we're in
nervous.
for a trilogy of matches. I think the second match, to your point, will have Jacob beat the hell out of Roman Reigns, but there'll be a DQ or something that prevents him from getting the belt.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Roman's supposed to go away for the month of June, comes back in July. I think this is me fantasy booking. I think Jacob finally beats him, wins the belt,
Mhm.
goes to SummerSlam, where he has to face Obafemi. And
I don't.
not that I want to kill the Jacob Fatu aura, but it would be kind of interesting for Oba to put Jacob away in short order because it continue. Now, the problem is, and here's the problem with Oba, is if you go that route and you get the belt on him
Mhm.
in that fashion, how do you make his title reign interesting? Because that's the problem. I've seen this happen before with other superstars who go on this sort of like rocket ship to the top. They get the belt, and then it's like creative doesn't know what to do with them because there's no one who, in reality, people could feel really stands a shot at this guy. Like everyone should get the crap kicked out of him. He's a division killer. Maybe it goes the other way and Jacob, humbles Oba. I don't know, but I do think they need to give Jacob a run. I think the thing that they were smart to do, and gives me a little faith in terms of where creative's at, is at least they had the wherewithal to know with Roman holding this belt, they could not go back to the old formula of Roman just dominating and winning. You know what I mean? Like the fact that the first match out of the gate, they don't have him just have, kind of a standard Roman match where it's competitive, but he's dominating and he ends up winning it. And yay, the tribal chief is doing it. No, right from the get-go, he is on his heels. He is getting taken down by this guy who doesn't acknowledge who he is, who is part of the, I love the line he had last Friday. Jacob was just like, if he can't do it, he's going to burn the whole damn family tree down, which I thought was a phenomenal line. Like, let's put Roman in a place that his character has never really been before, which is, yes, he has the title. Yes, he has the world championship. He has the title of tribal chief, but everything going on around him is the opposite of that. He is not projecting strength. He is not projecting dominance. He is, if anything, barely holding on. And that's why that whole scene with the ref and the turnbuckle cover, I thought was really, at least the ref was really well done, because Roman looked desperate at that point. He's like, I am about to lose everything. What Jacob just said is about to pass, and I cannot let that happen. And here I go doing what I always do, which is try to take a shortcut to hang on to it just for a little bit longer. And I love that they layered that in. And, I'm hopeful on Raw tonight, because we're recording now. We didn't get to watch it, live. But I'm hopeful that they keep the momentum behind Jacob, because this is what's interesting. We've never seen Roman in this place before. Punk was a good opponent for Roman from a promo and mental standpoint, but everyone could see that Roman was physically superior to Punk. Right? I mean, Punk could go with him.
The funny thing is, like, Roman is not as physically imposing as they build him up to be. Like, you see him with Punk, and you're like, oh, he's got like an inch and a half on him, if that, in terms of height.
Right, but I'm saying because he's 5 years younger, because he's
true, yeah.
He seems to be physically at the top of his game. It played into that story of, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Punk looked in phenomenal shape too for his WrestleMania match. It's just that playing into that story of him having a few years on Roman was the difference. Now Roman's on the opposite end of that. He's got the young guy chasing him, and now he can't keep up with the young guy.
True.
And that's where I feel like they have an opportunity to do something interesting with him, because this shouldn't be about the length of the title reign anymore. This should be something that creates a interesting and compelling story where, Jacob not only becomes like a main event star because he can hang with the champ, but maybe becomes the champ for a period of time. Where Roman has to chase and kind of prove himself some more, like the whole thing where he took the tribal chief title back from Solo. Let's be honest, wasn't that interesting, because everyone knew Solo was going to lose. Like, Solo wasn't,
because Solo hadn't revealed his personality at that point.
Right.
Now it's like you kind of see, and it's like he's a personality that can stand up against other people. He had none of that development.
Yes, but Jacob has always been presented as this wild card. And I feel like he has, in some ways, the end of that match was, if it was anyone else, would be a heel turn because of the dastardly thing he's doing. But there is a stone cold aspect to Jacob Fatu, which is you're kicking the shit out of the guy who is supposed to be the golden boy.
Yes.
And there's a segment of the fans that want to see that. They want to see,
not just of the fans, of the populace.
Sure. Yeah. They want to see the chosen one get theirs and be humbled to some degree. And I said this during the whole buildup of the Punk Reigns match.
How do I not
Reigns
have that on the soundboard? Damn it.
Jabroni!
I don't have make him humble.
Reigns is running a very fine line between convincing the fans he's really a heel, because all that crap he was talking to Punk about, and same thing with Fatu about, well, we let you come in. I'm in control here. I'm this and that. Like, that's very elitist, very, entitled talk. And the fact that That's what I find so weird. Like, I'm really surprised the fans are behind Reigns as much as they are, because he really comes off as not a common person. He comes off as someone who suppresses the common person.
Oh yeah, totally.
And so, but to my point is, like, he should be getting booed more,
Yeah.
and he's not, which is really weird to me, because I guess the fans just,
He was a punk.
thank you, Sheiky has it right. Whereas Jacob, to me, is the one who's coming off as the common man, right? He's the one who's trying to attain.
There we go.
Thank you. Attain a level of greatness so that he can provide for his family, that he can give them a good life. That's something anyone can probably relate to, especially in these times and in this day. And so it is very surprising to me that Roman hasn't shot himself in the foot through his promos and become more of a heel, because he comes off as that very entitled, like, I'm in control.
It's the aura. Because people have, again, like, people are trained to sing along. They're trained to do this. They're trained to do that. But every so often,
Jacob's chipping away at the aura. I guarantee you that.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I like your fantasy booking, except here's the thing. I don't want Jacob Oba.
Okay.
I like where you're going. Okay, fine. And again, I want the downfall to be swift. I want the next time they face each other, like, boom, they lower the friggin' boom.
Nah, you got to go with the trilogy, baby. Trilogy.
Fine, you go with the trilogy, and Roman loses. And then the next time we see Roman is SummerSlam. Except now we get Jacob has the title.
Mm-hmm.
Roman wants it back.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob's like, okay, well, what do you got to offer me? Why should I even give you a shot at this title? I've worked so hard to get this title. I went to this, I went to that. What have you got to offer me? If you want to go for this title, fine. I want the Ulafala.
Oh, put the tribal chief title on the line.
I will be the tribal chief, and you will acknowledge me.
Mm.
And then, because I'm also combining in my head canon, as Roman is carried out, Solo is there.
Mm.
This is the point when Solo shows back up. No. I want to be the tribal chief.
Mm.
This is family.
Mm-hmm.
I've been the head of my family. I can do that. And so we get a triple threat.
Okay.
At WrestleMania.
I could see that.
I
could see that.
Fatu, Solo, and we get a different side of Solo. Mm-hmm. We get I'm not about that suit no more.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fight? I fought in the streets. You want to go there? Okay. And even almost like at a point where Fatu and Solo start dealing with each other and forget Roman's even there, because at that point he's such a punk ass bitch. Like, I already beat him. He's a corporate champion. Like, who cares about him? Like, I used to fight in the streets. I'll take. You want to get nasty? I'll get nasty, to the point where Roman almost has to, like, insert himself. Be like, wait a minute, I'm the big deal here. Like, no, you ain't nothing. Yeah. Roman is an afterthought. And then we see at SummerSlam, Jacob prevails. He gets the Ulafala. He is the tribal chief. Mm-hmm. Solo acknowledges him because he thoroughly beats both of them.
Mm-hmm. And
Roman acknowledges him and leaves.
Okay.
Either that or Roman, like, I don't know what you do with Roman after that, but I want to, like, to me, that is much more interesting than Oba, because I want to, if anything, I'd like to see Oba go over to SmackDown. As much as, like, Oba is a huge, like, bring Oba to SmackDown and let him win. Let him start getting in on that with Cody.
Yeah,
because if you have Oba, and you somehow eventually if you wind up with Oba and Fatu as your two champions.
Except the fact that Reigns opened his mouth after WrestleMania about Oba and kind of intimating, let's see if you're still this hot when we get to SummerSlam, which I'm like, you know what? At that point, I want to see Oba frickin' throw Roman Reigns around a bit, because.
But then that's the fun part, is like, because again, you don't have to put a belt on Oba between now and then. Like, you can take your time with this. Oba can just beat the hell out of people, and people love him. Then, after Roman has been embarrassed. Again, like the first time he gets his ass kicked, you have Solo in Gorilla. Mm-hmm. The next time he has to come out. He has to hang his head.
I love how everything with Solo involves him doing this.
Because again, you want Solo quiet, just like because he's like, and you thought you were something. Then the next time after Roman gets his ass kicked, we go back, we mirror that, and there's Oba. Now you are ready to face the ruler, and that's the next thing for Roman. That okay, you think you're something. You want to call me out? I'm still here. And where are you? You're no longer a tribal chief. I am the ruler. But again, will Roman's ego allow him to be beat by Jacob Fatu a couple of times and then have to go into a feud with Oba where he is definitely going to eat a pin at some point? Maybe not right away, but at some point. Will Roman allow that? Will WWE Creative allow that? I don't know. And that's why like it's all fun and games that we're talking about this and it's exciting. And I'm like, oh, that'd be great. It's probably not going to happen.
I do have to say there was a great reel on Instagram over the weekend with Solo from SmackDown on Friday where he's playing up, I think it was Tala Tonga versus Damian Priest. And Priest kind of approaches Solo and he kind of goes back and he's like, he's like in the, kind of behind the announce table, like in the crowd, like, I'm not going to do anything. And you hear someone in the crowd's like, you can take him. And he's just doing this and he's doing this like, and then he looks right at the fan who's saying that. He's like, you're damn right. And then he moves on. Solo actually has a baby face like running him that is going to be phenomenal because he is so freaking funny. He is just funny.
He's got charisma.
Like, you're damn right.
When they actually started, I think it's almost like they stopped paying attention to him as much.
Yeah.
Which seems to be like how some of those talents get over. It's like they're not in the spotlight, so they get to kind of start doing whatever they want.
Yep.
And it's like that's when the genuine personality, and people can sense that. People can sense when it's like the genuine personality of the person. They're like, oh wow, this is kind of cool.
Enough fantasy booking, my friend.
3.5 stars.
Let's get to it. What's the adjudication on this one?
3.5 stars.
Really?
And honestly. And most of that is on Fatu's back because
that's it.
Yes, that's it. It was not a 5-star match, sir. What did you think it was?
I gave this 4.25 stars. I thought this was a great match.
You are high as hell right now. I need
this match was better than Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, but not quite as good as Io Sky and Asuka.
You need to push away from that Woodford Reserve right now, sir.
Not at all.
There is something contaminating that.
Come join me in the arena of the sane. Okay, my friend? In the arena of the sane.
Well, like Kyrie Sane, like unemployed? Is that where we're heading?
No, the sane, not Kyrie Sane. The sane is in those who understand.
The river in France?
Oh, my God.
Because it sounds like the only river you're interested in is denial. Well, I think you are high on your own stash, sir. I don't understand what you're doing.
This was worthy of a 4.25 star. The crowd was into it. The action was good. The story was good.
It was not that good.
The ending was justified with the tomfoolery that happened afterwards.
Oh, you are full of shit.
No,
okay,
not at all. I am sound as sound can be. You, sir, need to understand the world of professional wrestling better.
I gotta let Marco out here. Hang on a second.
Okay. Well, I kind of wanted Marco to jump up on your desk and like walk across, but I guess he wasn't interested in such activity.
He had that look like he might need to use the litter box.
I think he was scared of the chicken cock. So, but we're both 0.5 off the pace, so no one gets the points for the stars. So I will start tabulating. So Uncle Todd, let's see, +2, let's see, +4, +6.
You take off your shoes to count this? Are you good?
Let's see, +9, +11. The mystery partner for Danhausen was not Obafemi, so you lose a point. So that is 10 for you.
Mm-hmm.
I am +2, +4, +6, 7, 9. Let's see, 9, 2 is 11, 12. I get -1 for Obafemi. The Vision did help Breaker, and he did beat Seth. So I think I deserve a +1.
You do not deserve a +1.
I do.
They did not directly help him beat Seth.
I'm putting a +1 on this.
That's not a +1, sir.
All right, I'll say a -1.
Good God, have some
So-
propriety.
Have some respect for yourself.
I'm giving
So
up on that.
we are 10 apiece. We are tied on this one, sir. So in the grand scheme of, let's see if I look up our, what are our points at right now? Let's see. Where are we?
I started off this year hot, and then I've cooled down significantly.
Oh, you've cooled down more than significantly. Let's see. Backlash 10 and 10. I am up 60 to 59. 60 points to 59. I'm up by 1. But that was after coming back. Like you had like a 10-point like lead on
where
me.
I normally am in these leaderboards. Like I'm happy with that. Like I'm within striking distance, sir. And no, I'm not just talking about the Sarah Jessica Parker, Bruce Willis vehicle of the 1990s.
All right.
Our
next adjudication will be Real and Jabroni, Mandalorian and Grogu.
That's
will be coming
right.
up in a couple weeks. I actually got to start getting some.
I've got to get my tickets for that.
Picks on that going. So, all right. I turn it over to you because you normally introduce the next segment.
Do you have a? I mean, I'm guessing that for both of us, this was above what we were expecting. Would you say that's an accurate?
Oh yeah, 100%. I would absolutely say that. This. I mean, you had 3 matches that were above. 4 star. Sorry, some of us had 3 matches that were above 4 stars. The less educated of us had less than that. But I'm just saying.
Do you think that part of our high ratings here have to do with what our low expectations were? Do you think that we might be perhaps swayed, if you will?
No, because I think the crowd was locked in. I think they told very good stories in 3 of these matches.
We didn't cover. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, actually, in 4 of the matches, it's just one of them. Like the Trick Williams, Sami Zayn match just wasn't a 4-star match. But I would say, there was a theme throughout this event of, young trumping old. And the matches they put together were well done. And the layout of I appreciated the fact they put the women at the semi-main event level. And they actually stole the show, if I'm to be honest. I mean, as good as Roman and Jacob was, I thought Io Sky and Asuka was the match of the night. So, no, I don't think it was anything having to do with our low expectations. I think they put together a solid event, and maybe the crowd was hotter than normal, but they were locked in, and that's what made it special. Was the near falls, and the fact the crowd was as bought in as they were. It just made the matches feel that much better. And I don't think it's the crowd's masking the matches not being really good. I think it was the stories being told is what drove the crowd to the reaction that they had. So, I think it was much better because it was booked very well and creatively it was done very well.
I will admit, I think that part of my high ratings is because I had such low expectations.
Okay.
So I think that skews my ratings a little bit.
So be it.
The one thing we didn't cover is the earth-shattering announcement by John Cena.
Yeah, well, it's getting late. Let's move on.
I didn't know if you had anything to say about that.
It's fine, but here's the problem. Anytime you turn something over to the general public voting on something, there's some segment of the audience that's going to try to do something that's just completely stupid to just be stupid. Like vote for someone who really has no business being the winner because they just want to show that they had some power or whatever. It's just. Well, I appreciate what they're trying to do, but I think it's not going to be the result they think, or like either that, or they're just going to doctor the results anyways. So.
And they open themselves up to that because now there's so many other ways to get those metrics. Yeah, it was disappointing. Almost as disappointing as when they showed the Tampa Bay Lightning in the front row holding one of their like the branded Lightning belts, and they all looked like they were being held just off camera by gunpoint. None of those dudes looked like they were happy to be there.
You know what they don't have? They don't have this, baby. The
on that
real
note- oh jeez,
World Championship, baby.
sweet baby Jesus. All right. So what do you have, sir, for In Another Thing, a recommendation for our viewers and or listeners?
Well, I had really nothing, but I went back to the well because I thought this would be kind of funny and interesting. As I've shared before, I'm a big fan of the NPR news quiz show, Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. 2 weeks ago, they had Will Ferrell on, not as Will Ferrell, not as himself.
Okay.
No, ladies and gentlemen, they were in San Diego.
Oh,
And therefore, when they're in San Diego, there's only one person for the job. That is one Ron Burgundy. Stay classy, San Diego. And he was in character, phenomenal as part of the interview segment of that show. He was spot on the entire time.
with
Oh, my
suits
God.
so fine they make Sinatra look like a hobo.
Indeed. So if you have not ever experienced Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, I would highly recommend this episode. Check it out. It is funny as can be. And just having Will Ferrell there in full, apparently, he was on stage in there are Instagram reels of him getting interviewed by some of the staff before he went on, and he was in full Ron Burgundy costume, playing up the character. He comes on stage. He is Ron Burgundy. Their announcer for the game show is Bill Curtis, and he plays it up as Ron Burgundy was a big fan of Bill Curtis coming up through his career, and one of the jokes he puts forth is, I think a question comes out of were you ever jealous of Bill Curtis's success, and he's like, well, Bill Curtis would write the story, and I would take the story and try to make it my own. So now Will Ferrell, of course, said that in a much funnier and goofier way, but nonetheless, it is a fun show to listen to. So if you've never listened to Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, check that episode out. If you are a fan of the show and you haven't heard this one, it is very good. And it's just fun for them to have a guest on who's playing a fictional character and just, completely leaning into it 110%. So do check that out when you have a moment.
Very nice. Sir, for my In Another Thing, could I request for you to pull up the link for my In Another Thing? Because I'd like for you to listen to at least the first couple seconds of this.
Okay.
So pull it up, and then we'll get to triple zeros here.
Okay. Count me down.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. So instrumentally great, huge band.
Yeah,
but
no
what I
kidding.
really want you to get is the lead vocals here, which will be coming up shortly, right about now.
Okay. All right. Jeez, is she like Janis Joplin's daughter or something?
This is Dwayne Gretzky, Canadian party bands right here.
Jeez, she sounds just like her.
This is Carly Akins on
Holy
lead
crap.
vocals here, doing A Piece
Wow.
of My Heart, Janis Joplin cover.
Nice.
Here we get to the chorus right here, right here. All right, I gotta turn this off because honestly, when I like the freaking goosebumps, dude. Like this is literally
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson territory of
Yep.
legit, actually, not just playing it up for effect. Oh my gosh, I heard this and I've had the privilege of being around a lot of really great singers. I'm a singer, but I don't pretend to greatness. There's people that I've been around where I'm like, holy crap, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I was listening to this. It just kind of came up randomly on my YouTube feed, and literally the fur on the arms came up, like the goosebumps, the back of the neck, like the whole thing. It was a full body experience of
Nice.
who is this, and how are they not playing arenas? How is this not a thing? So my In Another Thing is to go check out Piece of My Heart, which is a cover by Canadian party band Dwayne Gretzky, which is friggin' fantastic. band name.
Nice.
They do a bunch of different covers. There's a great cover they do of Fleetwood Mac's The Chain, which is also fan-friggin-tastic.
Yep.
They're touring. They're actually, I think the closest they're going to be to me is like Brooklyn Bowl down in Brooklyn, New York. After hearing this, I am kind of on the fence of like, I might need to take a little trip down to Brooklyn because I want to be there for whatever party these dudes are throwing. Like, this is a freaking killer band. So go and check that out. And then if they are in your neighborhood, check them out as well.
Nice. Before you close things out,
Yes.
I need to go run to the bathroom. So
you're gonna interrupt right before the outro.
I have to. I'm sorry. I'm just at that point. Got to run.
Should have put in the catheter.
12 seconds later.
All right, now that we are back from the man they call Tim's pee break because he couldn't make it another 2.5 minutes. But you know what? No shame there because
Don't even.
I've been there many times.
Don't even.
Where it's like I've got to make a choice where it's either bear the shame of a pause or wet drawers, and I'll take the pause every time.
Everyone is born witness to the amount of liquid I've been putting into my body. It makes sense.
Well, yes, indeed. And now it's time for us to bid you all fair adieu. Thank you all for tuning in. I don't know
Fair
where I was.
adieu.
I lost track of where I was, honestly, because you threw off my whole rhythm. But we are going to take our traveling roadshow off to other climes, and we'll be back on Free Range Idiocy Friday. Thank you all for tuning in. You can find us at freerangeidiocy.com. Find all of our episodes and download them all the time, as well as subscribe to the Podbean app. You can also find us on fine podcast players everywhere, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, all of the rest. Just search for Free Range Idiocy. If you would like full video episodes, hey, youtube.com/Free Range Idiocy or at Free Range Idiocy. Anyways, just go to YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel, Free Range Idiocy. You'll find us. And then if you want to follow us on the socials, we've got our Instagram page as well as the Facebook. Those are at Free Range Idiocy as well. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, or items that you'd like to share with us, send those to Tim at freerangeidiocy.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me hand this back over to the man who guides this Free Range Idiocy Wednesday, or Week in Geek Wednesday, or Week in Wrestling Wednesday, as we're calling it this week. The man they call Tim. Take us home, sir.
To the interwebs, we say, you suspect. We don't know what your reputation is in this town, but after what you tried to pull today, you can bet we'll be looking into you. And to our listeners, we say, good day, ladies and gentlemen. And until that day comes, keep your ear to the grindstone. Yarabin!
You're messing with my Zen thing, man.
Now get the hell out of here!